Test 1 2. Test 1 2.
Test.
And welcome everyone to the Sound Live Sports Network. Steve Willits along with Nathan Ani. This is not the game we were intending to broadcast, but we're going to give you a little bonus coverage today. The Meadowdale Mavericks and the Shorewood Thunderbirds are in overtime right now. This is a golden goal situation. If one of these two teams can score in this overtime, they will win this game. They will take third place, and they will move on to the state tournament. The losing team will see their season come to an end. So this is kind of a big deal, Nathan. This is do or die right here.
Yeah,
Two 5-minute overtimes, and we're jumping in here in the middle of overtime number 1. Clock right now showing 2:35 to go. And again, we were not planning on broadcasting this game, so we're looking at our iPhones trying to get rosters so that we can bring you the action here and possibly show you a game-winning goal here momentarily. Meadowdale wearing the dark blue uniforms. Shorewood wearing the white. Meadowdale scoring their only goal late in the first half. Shorewood with about three and a half minutes showing on the clock during the 77th minute, tying this game up, and that's where we stand right now. Ball is kicked out of bounds. I believe we're going to have a throw-in. You can possibly see this on the camera. The teams on the far side stretching right now. We've got Edmonds-Woodway on one side of the field, Glacier Peak on the other. Those two teams will play in the district championship game. I would imagine 15 or 20 minutes after this game is over. We might just keep the camera rolling and keep you on the air without audio while those two teams are warming up. But again, if you tuned in thinking you were going to watch the championship game, you will in fact still see that. But not a bad way to bring you bonus coverage. The third place game is really the crucial one. Regardless, win or lose for Edmonds-Woodway or Glacier Peak, they're both moving on. This third place game, however, only one team will advance.
This is the one that really means something.
Absolutely. It will, and
It not really means something.
Yeah, the district
first place.
Yeah, the district championship means something because you want that banner, and also it means you get to host a game or two next week. Whereas if you lose, you're going on the road. But yeah, you get eliminated in this one.
Yeah, they're playing to keep playing.
And we're the clock now shutting off as we're under the 2-minute mark. So again, this is the first overtime. If these two teams are still tied or if nobody scores within the next minute or two, we'll hear the whistle blow. They'll then switch sides and play another 5 minutes under a sudden death golden goal situation. If nobody scores during that time frame, we will go to a shootout to determine which of these teams goes to the state tournament, which starts on Tuesday. Meadowdale putting it into the box. Ball is going to be kicked out of bounds by Oceanu Bojang, number 4.
So
of course,
now
a game that we're
sides.
broadcasting in which we didn't have a chance to study the rosters. As soon as I go to call somebody's name, I look down and it's not Jim Smith, it's Oceanu Bojang. Hopefully we got that name right. So we are going to switch sides like you mentioned. So 5 more minutes to go here, or until somebody scores, right? This is a sudden death. Golden goal.
I love the golden goal. It brings a little more excitement.
Yeah, not only, I mean, golden goal would always be exciting no matter where you're playing, right? But when you're playing for the right to go to a state tournament,
Right. Yep.
or if you're a senior watching your season come to an end and your high school career essentially come to an end, there's a little bit riding on that. So it looks as though Shorewood will start with the ball. Not really sure what's going on here at this point. Again, for those of you tuning in, we had a 6 p.m. scheduled start time for the district championship game between Edmonds-Woodway and Glacier Peak. That game is being moved back just a bit as our third place game has run long. Shorewood and Meadowdale going at it for the final spot for the state tournament. We're going to play another 5 minutes before we head to a shootout.
Shorewood's playing without their captain right now. He took a knock at the end of the regulation and didn't play in the first overtime. Callahan is on the bench there.
Callahan Goebel. Now, was he injured before or after they scored the tying goal? Do you know?
It was after they tied it up. It looks like he cramped up at the end of the regulation period.
So are they playing a man down right now with anticipating he might come back in? Or
They brought a guy in,
They did,
so he
okay.
got subbed off, but he hasn't come back in.
Clock now showing 4:23 to go. I'm going to say that was offsides as apparently it was number 9, Marco Shiflett, the senior, getting behind the Mavericks defenders. Fortunately, didn't wait till the ball got there first. A little bit of action there in the boxes. Meadowdale briefly looked as though they might have an opportunity. Nathan, I know both of us getting here just a short time ago. I haven't really watched this game very carefully, but what little I have seen, nice goalkeeping play by on both sides.
Yep, they're coming out strong.
Looked as though Meadowdale might have an opportunity there for a brief moment. Nathan Red, number 7. .317 now showing on the game clock. All it takes is one goal from either of these teams within that time period, and this game will come to an end. Shorewood looking to attack. Call red for a penalty there. Looks as though Bojang will take the kick. Shorewood with the header. Nice save by the goalkeeper.
Great save.
Trying to see who the keeper is there for Shorewood. Apparently it's number 18. That's Isaac Whitaker, the junior. Whitaker jumping up in that far right corner to pop it over the net. Corner kick for Shorewood. Planted it into the middle of the box. The ball is on the ground. Another header. This one is good! Shorewood is advancing! Shorewood is going to the state tournament. Sven Pandel, number 14 with the header into the upper corner. And this Meadowdale team is devastated. They were less than 2 minutes away from sending this one into a shootout. Tough way to lose a match with so much on the line. I read the wrong keeper a minute ago. Again, we were not planning on broadcasting this game. That's Luke Lindgren, the Meadowdale keeper, who was having an outstanding game up until that point. Still had an outstanding game. That was a tough play right there. And ball was bouncing around loosely in the box. Pandel heads it into the upper corner. Game over. So Shorewood, who came into this match as a higher seed to begin with and certainly might have been a little bit of a favorite, does in fact move on. We do not know who their opponent's going to be. We know that they will be on the road Tuesday. 16 teams playing in the state tournament. Single elimination. And the Thunderbirds are celebrating. They are moving on. And Brian Monroe-Jones and his squad picking up their stuff on the far side of the field. And really a nice season for the Meadowdale Mavericks. Came into this game with a record of 12 wins, 3 losses, and 4 ties. So many good teams in Wesco 3A this year. Not all of them are going to make it out of this district tournament. And to get this close, it's a shame. But really, if you're Meadowdale, you have to already look back on this and say, hey, good season.
Right, you made it this far.
They finish out their year with an overall record of 12-4-4. Shorewood, now with a record of 13-5-2. And again, they will be playing on Tuesday against a team to be determined. We've got 18 minutes showing on the clock right now. We're going to go ahead and turn down our audio. We'll be back in a few minutes and bring you the exciting action of the district championship game between the Edmonds-Woodway Warriors and the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Once again, the final score in the third place game in the second overtime, the Shorewood Thunderbirds advancing to state with a 2-1 victory over the Meadowdale Mavericks.
Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmonds School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds-Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
Hey sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the Westco Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches, so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official scores, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the Westco Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and check out westcoathletics.com, the official website of the Westco Conference.
If you're hungry before or after the game, visit Sorelli Pizza, located at 44th and 224th in Mount Lake Terrace. Enjoy the best pizza in Snohomish County while watching your favorite sports on the 4 50-inch plasma TVs. Dine in or take out. They're open Tuesday through Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Call them at 425-670-8600 or visit them online at sorellipizza.com.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds-Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Hi, this is Raven Blackburn from the Sound Life Sports Network. Tonight, giving you the Glacier Peak versus Edmonds-Woodway boys soccer match for the championships. Both teams are advancing to state after this game, and the winner of this game is announced the champion, the district champions. Joining me tonight is Steve Willits and Nathan.
And thank you, Raven. Here we go. This is the district championship game from Edmonds Stadium. The Edmonds-Woodway Warriors, who are coming off of a year in which they, well, I should say previously, 2014, only won 4 games. They have not advanced to the state championships or the state tournament in 12 years. They have already done so this week by advancing to this championship game. Now they're looking to get a banner, though. Now they're looking for something more to put in their gym. And in order to be crowned district champions, they need to win this game tonight against an opponent they know very well, against a very tough opponent, the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. The Grizzlies and the Warriors, one team wins, one team gets crowned district champion. And joining me right now also, Nathan Ani. Nathan, you are a senior at Arlington High School. You play for a Crossfire team in which you travel throughout the nation playing soccer and are heading to Seattle University next year on a soccer scholarship. You've grown up playing against some of these players, correct?
Yeah, I grew up playing with a good chunk of the seniors on this Glacier Peak team, and then I've played a little bit with the goalkeeper of Edmonds-Woodway. And I'm familiar with quite a few of them, growing up with them, and my dad's coached quite a few of them, so it's cool to see him here.
And this is a big game, and you mentioned the goalkeeper. That's Griffin Small, certainly one of the best goalkeepers in the area. Tony Gilman, their head coach, who's been here for 22 years, he thinks Griffin might be the best goalkeeper in the state, albeit he mentioned that the kid over at Lakeside, who he has not seen this year play, who's the Gatorade Player of the Year, he confessed to have not seen him play this year, but he certainly thinks Griffin's right up there with just about anybody, and he's shown that throughout the season. This is an Edmonds-Woodway team that's very balanced. Jose Alleman leads the team with, Tony wasn't sure, 8 or 9 goals, but he says he has 10 players on his team that have scored goals throughout the season, and a Glacier Peak team that is certainly putting up quite a few goals themselves. I think we've had 6 games this year in which they've scored 4 goals or more, and they're led by a handful of players, including one of their captains, Kevin Duan, who had the game-winning goal in the semis to advance them to this game. Wyatt Miller, number 7, and Riley Prescott, number 10, are also threats to score, as is number 19, Alex Bergstrom. So we will see. Players are lining up right now on the field facing the crowd.
Yeah, the Edmonds-Woodway, I got to watch Edmonds-Woodway play against Arlington, and I was very impressed with Jose Alleman. And he's the one that's put in 8 or 9 goals. I thought he's a threat. Plays on the right side, is quick with his feet, and so he's a player to watch. And then, like you said, Glacier Peak, they got Riley Prescott and Alex Bergstrom. Both have scored quite a few goals this year. And I think Wyatt Miller's a very dangerous player, number 7, fast left-footed player.
So we will certainly find out here momentarily. So we did touch upon it a little bit during the intros. Both of these teams have already advanced to the state tournament. 16 teams will be playing in that tournament, which starts on Tuesday. Now, what does it mean for this game? Well, again, first and foremost, you want to be crowned district champion. You want to be able to put that banner up in your gym. You want to be able to go back 10 years, 20 years from now, walk into that gym and see there's a district title with your name on it. But the other thing that's of significance is that the team that wins this game will get to host a game on Tuesday night in the first round of the state tournament. And then I believe the way it's set up, I was talking to Tony Gilman, the coach of Edmonds-Woodway beforehand, they would also get to host round 2. It's a single elimination tournament, so they would have to win the first game, obviously. But it could be the difference between being able to host the first 2 games of the tournament, or if you lose this game, you're going to inevitably go on the road to play somewhere. We don't know where yet, but more than likely down in the south end of the state. So if you want to play close to home and you want to have a home field advantage on Tuesday night, you win this game today.
Find a way to get it done, yep.
Edmonds-Woodway wearing the green kits. Glacier Peak in white. Apparently, as we open the window up here to hear the public address announcer, I think because this is a district championship game, they are announcing each and every player. Which I'm sure is a little bit nice for the players.
Right, yeah. Get the recognition.
Get the recognition, you hear your name. And, hey, you get that much closer to playing under the lights, right? This game was scheduled to start at 6 o'clock, but because our game prior to this went a little bit late as in 2 overtimes, a game that we actually turned on and broadcasted the final few minutes of, game which Shorewood scored on a header with about 2 minutes left in the second overtime, a golden goal situation. Shorewood advancing to the state tournament by defeating the Meadowdale Mavericks. I'm not sure how strong our microphone is, so we'll try to read you some of these names as well. So we're a little bit hectic before the game. We do not get starting lineups for either team, but we'll get you caught up on them as we're going along. Edmonds-Woodway, 0-0, Griffin Small, he's a senior goalkeeper. Other goalkeeper wearing the number 0, Sam Palmer, he's also a senior. Number 1, Jake Stevenson, he is a junior defender. Number 2, Jeremy Langstad, he is a junior midfielder. Number 4, Jack Blahaus, he's a senior defender. Number 5, Gabriel Torion, he's a senior midfielder. Number 6, Trey Clugston, he's a senior defender. Number 7, Armand Tanau, he is a freshman, only freshman on the Edmonds-Woodway squad, and he is a midfielder. Number 8, Ethan Hopkins is a junior forward. Number 9, the aforementioned Jose Alleman, the leading scorer for the Warriors. He is a senior midfielder. Number 10, Edwin Martinez, the junior midfielder. Number 11, Patrick Matolka, he is a senior defender. Number 12, Bailey Bounds, senior midfielder. Number 14, Lucas Tuckle-Marion, he is a sophomore midfielder. Number 15, Daniel Leland, a senior midfielder. Number 16, Sufyan Mahmoud, is a senior midfielder. Number 17, Alejandro Peregrino, is a senior defender. Number 18, Cameron Cone is a sophomore defender. And number 21, Mitchell Shelton, is a junior defender. Team is coached by Tony Gilman in his 22nd year as the Edmonds-Woodway Warrior coach. Looking over at the Glacier Peak team right now. Number 00, and your starting goalkeeper for Glacier Peak, the junior goalkeeper, Son Norfishan. The other goalkeeper, Cole McFadden, is a senior. He will be backing up Norfishan. We're going to pause for the Pledge of Allegiance. Looking at the rest of the Glacier Peak team. Number 1, Miles Johnston, is a sophomore midfielder. Number 2, Cage Robarge is a sophomore midfielder. Number 3, Christopher Day, a junior midfielder. Number 4, Quinn Ingalls is a senior midfielder. Number 5, and one of the team number 5, Jesse Granados is a sophomore defender. Number 6, and one of the captains, is a junior midfielder. That is Connor Seed. Number 7, a junior forward, Wyatt Miller. Number 8, Kevin Dohan. He is a senior defender. Number 9, Spencer Pettit is a senior defense player. Number 10, Riley Prescott, a senior forward. Number 11, Tucker Davis, junior midfielder. Number 12, Cameron Miller is a sophomore defender. Number 13, J.J. Dewson is a sophomore midfielder. Number 15, Kevin Ramsey, sophomore defender. Number 16, Tyler Mikulski is a junior defender. Number 18, Devin Potts, a junior forward. Number 19, Alex Bergstrom is a senior forward. Number 21, Brandon Rangel is a sophomore midfielder. Number 23, Brandon Seed is a freshman midfielder. And number 26, Aaron Grant is a junior, and he plays forward. So that is a look at both of your rosters for the Warriors and the Grizzlies. And we mentioned earlier Kyle Veach, the coach of Glacier Peak, a first-year coach, I believe. Second-year coach, who we did not get a chance to talk to before the game as they were on the other side of the field from us. But certainly it takes a program that has had some success over the years. District champion just a couple years ago.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Snohomish won the 4A district championship the other night. Another Snohomish school can do it tonight. Pretty powerful soccer town there.
Keep it in the school district right there, just a few miles apart. Well, anything can happen when these two schools get together. We've had, on the Sound Live Sports Network here, we've had a chance to broadcast a few very good matchups throughout various sports this school year. Certainly these two teams playing each other at the end of the football season to determine who was going to get the final playoff spot. That game took place, I believe, on a Monday night, as it was a makeup game, and a game in which Glacier Peak won late. I believe Spencer Pettit, one of the players out here, had a little something to do with that. One of the better field goal kickers in the nation. So he will be heading to the University of Nevada next year on I was going to say, I think it's a partial football scholarship to kick there. And then certainly we've had our share of girls basketball games between these two schools that were very exciting throughout the year. So, and I'm just not even touching on the other sports because we didn't cover them necessarily, but certainly anytime these two teams get together, these two schools, it's always a fun rivalry, and it always means quite a bit. And tonight, just as much as ever, as this is a district championship game. Again, as we mentioned, Edmonds-Woodway wearing the road green as the lower seeded team. Road uniforms on your home field. Streaking down the left side, it's Riley Prescott. As they go left to right. Wyatt Miller with the ball. Ball is kicked out of bounds. Glacier Peak to throw it in. Any surprises so far from you, Nathan?
No surprises yet. Just the two teams trying to find their way into this game. They'll probably take it slow from the start, try not to make any mistakes.
You've played in a lot of big games, some around here, some you've traveled for. What are these guys experiencing right now in terms of their nerves? Is this just another game for them? I know they play all year round, not only within the high school schedule, but also on select teams and through various tournaments. Is this game a little more meaningful for them in terms of how they're preparing for it?
Absolutely. And I think in every game, for me, it's always very nerve-wracking until you get your first touch on the ball. You want to get that first touch in early, get a feel for the game, and especially games like this, you have those nerves tenfold. I mean, you don't want to mess up, but the quicker they stop thinking about it, the better they'll play.
Well, looking down at the clock right now, this game started at 6:54. Originally slated to start at 6 p.m. I've got to think that sitting around for that extra hour probably doesn't help the nerves either,
right,
does it?
Exactly.
Glacier Peak controlling the ball here for the first couple minutes as the clock now showing 38:08 to go here in the first half. 2 40-minute halves. If we need to, we will head to overtime. And unlike the regular season in which these two teams played and tied back on May 1st, that was a 2-2 game, we can't have a tie today. We're going to crown a champion one way or the other, whether it be in one of those 2 5-minute overtime sessions if need be. And if we still are tied, we'll go to shoot some penalty shots here at the end and see where that takes us. But right now, we've got a lot more soccer to play. Edmonds-Woodway boots that one down the field, and Fishon, the goalie, touching the ball for the first time today. Edmonds-Woodway kicking that one out of bounds.
Edward's still trying to find their first couple passes to get it connected here. They're having a hard time getting a couple passes connected. Glacier Peak's had most of the game so far.
Edmonds-Woodway looking to control the ball here finally and struggling to do so. That's number 2, Jeremy Langstead, that had the ball momentarily. Was immediately surrounded by a handful of Grizzly defenders who clear the ball back down to the other end of the field. And just to make sure Griffin Small's not feeling left out, gets that ball kicked back to him where he's going to try to clear it up the middle of the field. Ball ricochets off of a Warrior, and here comes Glacier Peak looking to attack. Down the right side, that's number 6, Connor Seed. Seed finally losing possession of the ball. It goes out of bounds, and we will have a goal kick coming up from Small. A little push there from behind. No, we finally do get the call. That was number 6, Connor Seed, with the bump on number 14, Lucas Teckel-Merriam. So again, just both teams kind of getting a feel for what the other one's doing right now. Edmonds-Woodway looking for something right here. That's number 2, Jeremy Langstad. Headed the ball down the left-hand sideline, went chasing after it where Glacier Peak was able to clear it out. Now, if you're Edmonds-Woodway, I've got it. You're a high school athlete, and you played basketball at Arlington this year.
Mm-hmm.
When you are playing a sport and the other gender team at your school has a lot of success, does that put extra pressure on you? Because this is an Edmonds-Woodway school that had the girls win a state championship this year.
Absolutely, it puts pressure on you. Nobody wants to say it, but you think about it. You want to be the best, and you want to have that school pride.
Glacier Peak on a little bit of a run here. Edmonds-Woodway able to finally clear that one out, and here they come up the right-hand sideline. It's Jose Alleman with the ball. Alleman finally passes over into the middle. It was number 8, Ethan Hopkins, who went back to Alleman. Ball was finally booted away. And I ask that because Edmonds-Woodway, obviously, from the boys' side of things, a very successful season. They're in the district championship game. But their girls' team did win the state tournament. I'm sure that they were well aware of that. And you're always rooting for the other teams and vice versa, right? But certainly there's an element of pride there. You know you need to kind of hold up your end of the bargain, right?
Right. It's a very friendly rivalry there. You want to outdo the other, but you support them through. And I'm sure they're super happy that the girls won a state championship.
First state championship in a sport since the two schools, Edmonds and Woodway High School, combined back in 1991. I'm sure that the Warrior faithful wouldn't mind putting up another state championship banner in the gym this year if they get a chance. Mentioned it earlier, Edmonds-Woodway not advancing to the state tournament in 12 years, so this is certainly taking them into a territory where they haven't been in a while, and that was a corner kick that was placed rather nicely. It went over the outstretched hands of Norfishon, ricocheted into the middle of the box where it finally rolled away freely. Warriors not able to get off a shot in that particular possession. .33:20 showing on the clock. We're in the 7th minute of play here in the district championship game. The Glacier Peak Grizzlies and the Edmonds-Woodway Warriors. Glacier Peak sending that ball down the middle. Number 1, Jake Stevenson, very wisely kicking it back to his keeper, Small. Griffin Small, no matter how dark it gets in the stadium, he's going to be easy to spot. He's got those neon yellow gloves on.
He's got the color coordination down.
I like it. We broadcasted a game here, a football game, in the fog back in the fall of 2013, in which we couldn't see the field for a half. And I'm thinking if the fog were to roll in tonight, which it's not going to in May, I think we could still find Griffin. Edmonds-Woodway looking to get something going right up along that left-hand side. Ball gets away. Nice job by number 7, Wyatt Miller, to get the ball back for the Grizz. Christopher Day last had it, booted it off of a Warrior player. So Glacier Peak will get the throw in on the right-hand side. These are two teams that are not afraid to score some goals either. Edmonds-Woodway, 7 straight games in which they've scored 2 goals or more. And looking over the Glacier Peak schedule, we mentioned earlier they've had 6 games this year in which they've scored 4 goals or more. Two tie back on May 1st. It's the only matchup between these two teams this season. And here we go. Edmonds-Woodway with a little bit of an opportunity, and that was number 8, Ethan Hopkins, who had it momentarily. Allman with a nice play there. Gets it away from the defender. That was number 19, Alex Bergstrom. Bergstrom still down. No whistle. We're going to keep playing. Glacier Peak with the ball on the right-hand side. Centering the ball. That's number 10, Riley Prescott. Spencer Pettit with the defensive play, trying to get it away from number 16. That was Mahmoud. Mahmoud not with very much help there on the right-hand side, as he was taking on 2 or 3 defenders himself. Edmonds-Woodway now with the throw-in. We are almost 10 minutes into this match. Still no score here at Edmonds Stadium. Edmonds-Woodway into the box, trying for the far corner. That was number 2, Jeremy Langstead. Going for that cross post and just kicked it a little bit too far to the left, out of bounds. It's going to give Glacier Peak a goal kick. And who says the goalkeeper never gets any exercise, right?
Right. They get to chase the balls. Now we get to see Spencer Pettit put that. Oh no!
Oh, I was hoping for the same thing.
See how far he can boot that thing, but he's moving up.
Spencer Pettit has kicked 55-yard field goals in football games, not just in practice, in live football games. So we know he's got a foot. Also a pretty good defender. Glacier Peak with a 3-on-4, trying to get something going here. Taking the ball back into the middle of the field is Prescott. Puts it ahead, looking for the cutting Christopher Day. Griffin Small able to jump in front of that ball and pull it down.
Glacier Peak's playing 3 guys up top. Riley Prescott's staying more to the left, and then Bergstrom's playing up top with Day on the right. Bergstrom's looking to come back and play. He's not the fastest player, but playing more of a post up forward, and Prescott on the left is a right-footed player, so you'll look to see him to cut in. He's a good player. He scored quite a few goals.
Pettit with the ball. Aiming for the center of the field. It ricochets off of a Warrior, and finally coming up with it for Edmonds-Woodway is number 13, apparently, who is not on our roster.
No name.
Always kind of fun when you look and you realize that there's a number out there that is not on the sheet in front of you. Finally coming up with the ball. That is number 12, Cameron Miller, the sophomore. Gets it over to Pettit. Pettit pushes it forward, and Glacier Peak breaking into the Edmonds-Woodway side of the field here with 28 minutes to go in the first half. See, that ball was finally pushed out of bounds, and Edmonds-Woodway getting a little bit frisky there. That's number 1, Jake Stevenson. Put a little forearm into the chest of one of the Glacier Peak players. I believe it was Prescott. Edmonds-Woodway wearing the green uniforms. Controlling the ball here in our 13th minute of the match. Nice pass into the middle, just got a little bit too far behind Mahmoud. Glacier Peak coming up with it. Very content to take a little time off the clock as they try to figure out what they want to do next. What kind of a strategy are you seeing here, Nathan?
Glacier Peak's really knocking the ball in their own half quite calmly, but once it gets forward, they're looking to really push forward. I'd like to see them connect a couple more passes.
Nice job by Tucker Davis to get in front of that pass. Had a full head of steam. If he could have taken that in mid-stride, might have been able to do something with it. Ball finally gets back to Small, who clears it forward.
Edmonds-Woodway needs to keep playing through number 9 there, Jose Alamen, on the right side with Glacier Peak's left back. Kevin Dewan really likes to push forward. So if they can catch him pushing up, Jose's got the speed to take advantage of that.
So to keep an eye on that, that is Allman right there on the defensive side of things, wearing the number 9 for Edmonds-Woodway. Ball gets over the head of number 13, Dewson. Day had a brief opportunity along the right-hand side. Glacier Peak still playing on that far side of the field, trying to get something going. Nice sliding pass there by Davis. Going right to left. Prescott with the ball, crosses it into the middle, and nobody there. Left to right. Was hoping maybe Day or perhaps one of his other teammates could have gotten over there in time. Unfortunately, for the Grizzly, no opportunity at that shot. And fortunately for the Warriors, they're able to come up with it. Here comes Edmonds-Woodway right now. Edmonds-Woodway looking for their first opportunity of the game. And you mentioned it earlier, Jose Alleman.
Yep, this is where he needs to get in the areas and do exactly that. Get in, take shots, take defenders on.
Yeah, that shot was from about 25, 26 yards out. I'm not sure if that was necessarily the shot he wanted, as he had two defenders all over him, but I think he recognized that he wasn't going to have the ball much longer and needed to do something, and pushes it just a little bit to the left. Brings up a goal kick. So we are now 15 minutes into this game. Still looking for our first goal of the game. Still looking for really our first serious shot on goal. Nice job by Pettit to head that one out. Glacier Peak, once again, working that right-hand side. It seems to be where they are most comfortable in their attacks. At least everything starts over there, correct?
Right.
Cross that one into the middle. Shot on goal. Making the stop is number 18, Cameron Cohn. So that was Bergstrom that was trying to aim that one towards the goal, to no avail. Decent little crowd here tonight. The weather holding out for us right now. Not necessarily warm, but not too cold either, and there's certainly no rain right now, which is always a plus.
Staying dry.
A little bit drier than the Preakness was today. Did you get a chance to watch that today?
The what?
The big horse race, the Preakness.
I wasn't. I got to do yard work all day.
Pouring down rain during that race. Nice takeaway there by Edmonds-Woodway. Stevenson, who might have lobbied for the ball there. No, they're going to finally say he in fact touched it last.
I think they're having to move back. Yep.
Oh, he did. Okay, there we go. Like to see that one on a replay. I'm not sure if he was in fact the last one that touched it or not, but I think he sold it to the referee.
He sold it, yep.
Nice block with the face by number 8, Ethan Hopkins. I think he might feel that one a little bit. Still rubbing the nose a little, but he's not going to go anywhere on this game. It's the district championship, right? You play through that.
Yeah, he'll carry on. He's throwing his body on the line.
Number 17 with the ball right now. That's Alejandro Peregrino. Glacier Peak. Wearing the white. They have the ball right now. Into the 19th minute of the match. Spencer Pettit controlling the ball. Looking to push it forward and finds number 1, Miles Johnston. Finally, Edmonds-Woodway able to take the ball away. Once again, Glacier Peak clearing it out. It's a game of back and forth right now. Day might have a breakaway here. No. Thought that ball was going to bounce right in front of him initially. He gets away from him, and number 13, the mystery warrior defensive player, coming up with it. Edmonds-Woodway looking to get something going here. Pushing the ball onto the Glacier Peak side of the field. Clearing that ball forward. We do not see any kind of a... Oh, we finally do see the referee flag go up. That was close to being offside. I guess they did not feel that he was, in fact, there. Though I believe that might have been number 8, Ethan Hopkins, who was looking for that ball. So Jose Alleman was the warrior with the pass on the play. Edmonds-Woodway, who's seen their fair share of this ball in the last 4 or 5 minutes, trying to control the action on their end a little bit here.
Yeah, Edmonds-Woodway's definitely settled more into this game. They're knocking the ball a bit, and they're getting their chances to get forward as well.
Clearing that ball out of bounds over onto the left-hand side was Edmonds-Woodway, so Glacier Peak taking the possession back over. Very content getting it back to the junior goalkeeper. Looking at the clock, we are almost halfway through the first half.
Glacier Peak's Prescott and Christopher Day switch sides now, so Prescott's working down on his right foot now on the right side, so he's not cutting in as much.
Is it common for teams to do that in the middle of a half like that? Do you see that very often?
Especially with that position there, that wing position.
Great play by Griffin Small. Did not see who kicked that ball for Glacier Peak. It might have been number 7, Wyatt Miller. Edmonds-Woodway looking to get something going. They're on the attack. Alleman kicking towards the goal. Diving save. Norfisham.
That's a great job by Griffin Smalls, the goalkeeper there. Coming out, catching the ball, and then recognizing that they got a counterattack opportunity and throwing the ball out to Jose, who got at the defense just like he needs to.
Jose Alleman, when he gets the ball in open field, he is very dangerous, both quick, shifty. When he's going right to left into that middle of the field like that, he's a threat to score every time. Clock now showing at 19 minutes to go in the half. Glacier Peak once again very patient on the defensive side of things. Being very methodical in how they want to push this ball up the field. Spencer Pettit with a little open space. Pushes it ahead. Johnson kicks it back over to Duan. And that probably was not the play that number 13 wanted. Is headed a ball that was probably going out of bounds either way, and rather than Edmonds-Woodway having a goal kick, they're now going to look at a Glacier Peak corner kick. Alex Bergstrom, number 19, will take the corner.
He's going to in-swing this one in. Watch for number 8 here, Kevin Dewan. Good aerial threat.
Dewan standing directly in front of Griffin Small right now.
Teammates, they play together.
I was just going to ask you about that. I saw both of them patting each other on the back there as they got set to go, and Small goes up, ball goes over everybody's head. Like to see that respect out there on the pitch. In this day and age, with so many other teams that you play for select teams, you play for, like you mentioned, you play in tournaments. I mean, one weekend you're playing with these guys, the next weekend you're playing against them, right? It's fairly common.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun to play against your teammates, too, in high school. You got to respect for them. It's always fun to have that bragging rights when you go into select. Be able to say, my team beat your team.
And Norfish on with the stop. Now heading towards the 24th minute of the half. Still looking for our first goal. Nice job by Stevenson to come in there and hit that ball away from a couple of different Grizzly defenders. Edmonds-Woodway now looking to get something going on the right-hand side. Dewan doing a nice job of defending that play.
I'm not seeing Jose Alleman on the field right now, so.
Christopher Day playing on the left-hand side right now.
Wondering if Jose came down with a knock or some sort. He seemed to be their most dangerous player, and he's been subbed off.
Looking across the field there, I do not see anybody being treated right now for any kind of an injury. Do you see him out there, Nathan? I'm still looking for him.
He's on the far left on the bench, but here's a chance here for Edmonds-Woodway.
Edmonds-Woodway on the attack. Not a lot of help yet. Finally coming over. That's Hopkins. Hopkins kicking it over to the left-hand side. Mahmoud was the one that initially had the ball. Shot from about 25 feet out on the left and sailing over the goal. I believe that was Peregrino on the play. Starting to look up here in the sky. It's getting darker and darker with those clouds. Turf field, I'm not sure if it's quite as crucial, I wouldn't imagine, but a couple players getting tangled up over there is number 19, Alex Bergstrom's going to take a breather. Didn't see who came in for him. It might be.
Looks like they got 18 coming in there, Devin Potts. Again, he's another tall player, post up forward, not the fastest, but they'll look to ping balls into him. Play 1 and 2 touch off of the other runners coming through.
Still keeping an eye over on the sideline as Jose Alleman continues to take a breather, so we think. Leading goal scorer for the Warriors throughout the season. As we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, the one thing that Tony Gilman seemed to be very impressed with, the longtime coach here at Edmonds-Woodway, is the fact that he's got 10 different players who've scored goals this year. And so that's one big difference from this team, whereas maybe in years past they weren't able to get that kind of production from other players. Or on any given night, even if Allman's not doing it, or if one of his other top forwards isn't scoring goals, they can get them from other folks on the field. And case in point, Tennell breaking up the right side, finally gets it taken away. No Fisham able to clear that one out. Goes out of bounds. It's going to be Glacier Peak throw-in. Clock now showing 13:41 to go here in the half. Edmonds-Woodway in the green looking for something right here. Mahmoud pushes it ahead forward on the right-hand side. We might get a shot at goal, and no, batted away. Tucker Davis with a nice defensive play. Ethan Hopkins was breaking towards the goal on the pass.
That was well done by Tucker to get back there. Looked to me as if the Edmonds-Woodway player might have been a couple steps in front of everybody else, a little offsides, but I'd have to see a replay for that one.
Whether he was or not, the referees were not going to call it, and Hopkins certainly had a look he wanted, but give Davis a lot of credit. That ball's headed out. Pettit chases after it, as does a couple of other Warrior players, all finally going out of bounds and off the Warriors. Really one of the better looks we've seen so far. And that answers one of our questions there, as look who's checking back in, right? Jose Alleman. Ready for the throw-in. Glacier Peak in the white, throwing in the ball. You're not kidding. Devin Potts is definitely a little bit on the tall side, isn't he?
Yeah. I was looking to see if they had his height listed there, but it's not like basketball where height's everything.
Now you are how tall? Oh, here we go. Ball's crossed, and nice job by number 8, Dewan, to shield the Edmonds-Woodway player away from that ball, letting it go out of bounds. How tall are you?
Like 6'3.5".
6'3". And now I've got to think,
6'4" on a good
when
day.
you're playing soccer, and again you're playing at Seattle University next year, even by college standards, you're a pretty tall soccer player, right?
Right. Yeah, 6'4", pretty much soccer anywhere now. That's still considered tall.
Have we seen soccer evolve over the last 10, 20, 30 years to where taller players are becoming more prominent than maybe they were back in the day? Nice move here.
yeah.
Oh, they're going to say that was a, what did we call
Looks like
it?
it snuck out there for a goal kick.
That was Edwin Martinez, who was looking to get by the defender. I mean, there once was a time when we thought of the great soccer players as being the 5'7", the 5'8", and super quick, and now we're getting taller players all the time.
Right. It's height in soccer tends to be very positional. Your center backs will tend to be taller, or a goalkeeper, or even like Devin Potts is playing here, a forward, like a taller post-up forward. But that's the great thing about soccer. It doesn't really matter what size you are. There's a place for you if you can make it work. If you're good, you're good.
Ball travels out of bounds. We are now looking at 10:25 to go here in the first half. No score. District championship game here at Edmonds Stadium between the Edmonds-Woodway Warriors and the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Looks as though we're going to get one more substitution as Christopher Day, number 3, heading towards the sideline for Glacier Peak. It's number 21, Brandon Rangel, fighting for that ball, the sophomore for the Grizzlies. A little bit of a push down the left sideline. That was number 7, Tano, trying to make something happen. Unfortunately, did not have the numbers. Glacier Peak able to come away with the ball. They now look to press into the Edmonds-Woodway side of the field, looking for that first goal of the game. Number 10, Riley Prescott with the ball, and is tripped up from behind by Jake Stevenson. Stevenson pleading his case, seems to think he tackled that ball cleanly. The referee thinks otherwise. Finally has one of his teammates, Jeremy Langstead, pull him away from the play so as not to get in any more trouble. What did you see on that play, Nathan?
It was hard telling because where the position was when my view kind of back turned, but I thought he got the ball, but he got quite a bit of the player there. I would have made the same call. The ref definitely had a better view than me and you did up here.
A little bit closer to the action than we are. We're shielded here a little bit by a windshield. Is Spencer Pettit now the weapon, as they call him during the football season, about to take the free kick. Try to center this one right in front of the goal. Ooh. Small gets in there. Ball is still bouncing around. Almost looking at a good shot on goal there as Devin Potts came flying over. And I don't know if that ball had a little too much rotation or what, but did not get the clean shot off that he wanted to. It flies way to the right of the field and out of play. Small lunging at that ball, trying to bat it out, and couldn't quite come up with it. And for a brief moment, it was anybody's ball. Steal by Prescott right there.
There he is again.
Here comes Alleman right here. Flies by Pettit. He still has the ball right down the right-hand sideline. Loses it. Pettit able to get back. Alleman bats it away. Kicks it into the center of the box. Looking for the shot there. That was Tanau. Couldn't come up with the foot on ball the way he wanted to. Well, finally, it ricochets off the back of the head of one of the Grizzly players and rolls right on over to the goalkeeper. And once again, Glacier Peak looking to push the ball from our left, or our right to our left. Pettit clears that one down the right-hand side. We're going to get a little bit of a race to it. Griffin Small doing a nice job of coming out of his box and clearing that one out before Brandon Rangel could get it. Wasn't sure what Pettit was doing at first, but he knew the speed of Rangel. He kicked it right down that right-hand sideline where he gave his forward a chance for a potential look at a goal. .6:19 to go here in the half, as far as the clock's showing anyway. Again, official scoring being kept on the field, official timer. We're right around that 6-minute mark as far as what time is left in the first half of play. Nice job by number 2. It's Cage Roberge coming up with it. Potts looking to get that ball away from the defender. That was number 18, Cameron Cohn. Cohn very wisely shielding his body between the ball and the goal line. Able to get that one to ricochet off of Potts. Edmonds-Woodway will take the ball over here with 5.5 minutes to go in the half.
Through. Tough place for Edmonds-Woodway to give the ball away there. They're lucky Glacier Peak didn't capitalize on that counterattack.
Yeah, that was a nice job by number 10, Martinez, who was, or actually by Prescott, who was looking to push it forward to Potts. Glacier Peak, every time down there right now, they seem like they're threatening more and more.
Yep, they need that. It's that last ball, that last play, last run, final third. They've had the chances. It's just missing that last tiny bit.
Griffin Small calling for that one. Peregrino letting it roll back to him. So we're now into our 36th minute of play. If you are the Glacier Peak coach, or if you're the Edmonds-Woodway coach, what is your strategy at halftime? What do you say? Well, let's go and take a look at this play here right now as Edmonds-Woodway appeared to have something briefly. The ball goes out of bounds. We're going to get another throw in, this time for the Warriors. What is your thought process right now? If you're, for instance, if you are Tony Gilman, the coach of Edmonds-Woodway, how are you feeling about this first half?
I'm all right with how it's going right now. I'd keep preaching. Get the ball down this right side. That's where they've been most dangerous. But you've seen as this game's slowly gone on, Edmonds-Woodway's creeped their lineup and hasn't let Glacier Peak knock the ball in the back as loosely as they'd like to. And that goes for the same thing with Glacier Peak. I'd like to see them push a little farther forward.
That's the Grizzlies you're talking about
Yeah,
now?
I'd like to see the Grizzlies, once they get into their own half, have a little more of a urge to goal. But neither of these sides have had any distinct goal-scoring chances. There's been a couple close ones, but none that have got me thinking there's going to be a goal.
Yeah, really both teams with only one or two opportunities thus far. We had the play to our right where Hopkins was cutting towards the goal, and before Tucker Davis jumped in front of him, and then of course we had the one
The scrap in the box there.
scrap in the box that got away from Small momentarily. It looked as though Potts might have a shot on goal for a brief moment. Clock now showing 2:38 to go. So barring something drastic, we look as though we are probably going into the half with a 0-0 tie. And of course, as soon as you say something like that during a broadcast, we'll get some sort of a breakaway. Edmonds-Woodway trying to push it and looking for Tano. The ball goes right by him and into the box where North Fisham was waiting for it. Ooh, hard collision by three different players there. Everybody a little slow to get up, but they appear to be okay.
Connor Seed took a shot there, but it was from his own teammate. They're all going up for the ball.
Connor Seed is a name we haven't called a lot in the last 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah, he's in the center mid, and he's a player that gets the ball and gets it off his foot pretty quickly. Not dribbling a ton, not too flashy, but just gets the ball where it needs to go.
So we're now under 2 minutes to go here. And at this point, this is when they shut the clock off on the scoreboard. The clock is being kept on the field. Ball is sent into the middle of the box. Glacier Peak able to bat that one away, clear it out. Stevenson, recognizing that he's low on time, tries to throw that one in quickly. Gets it to Hopkins. Hopkins gets around a couple of defenders, gets it into the middle. Realizes he doesn't have the numbers and pulls back. Allman now with the ball along the right-hand side. He comes into the middle, being guarded very closely by Roberge.
I'd like to see Alderman mix it up a little bit. He's been cutting into his left. Glacier Peak's starting to read that. Take it down the line and whip the ball in this next time.
Seed pushes it forward, getting that ball over to Davis. Davis takes it over to the left where Prescott's waiting for it. Prescott making a move on Stevenson. Puts it into the middle of the box, and Small steps up and grabs it. Nice job by Small as well as Stevenson to prevent any real threat there at the goal. A couple of number 18s going for that one there, as that's Cohn and Bergstrom. Nice job by Tano. Tano pushes it forward. And what was the whistle, Nathan?
That was offsides. He started behind the defenders and came back and got it.
So we should hear the whistle ending the first half here any moment.
There it is.
And there it is, any moment indeed. So we have played 40 minutes of play here at Edmonds Stadium, and the score is exactly where it was when we started. 0-0 in this district championship game. We're going to take a break. You are watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds-Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
Hey sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the West Coast Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches, so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official scores, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the West Coast Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and check out westcoathletics.com, the official website of the West Coast Conference.
Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmonds School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions. If you've been wanting to get back in the game, whether it's basketball or just improving your fitness level, Edmonds Sports Academy is the place to go. Edmonds Sports Academy, believe in the power of play. Call them at 425-772-1901.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds-Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle.
Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmonds School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions. If you've been wanting to get back in the game, whether it's basketball or just improving your fitness level, Edmonds Sports Academy is the place to go. Edmonds Sports Academy, believe in the power of play. Call them at 425-772-1901.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds-Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And welcome back to Edmonds Stadium for the second half of the district championship game. 0-0 the score here, or lack thereof, after one half of play. Edmonds-Woodway wearing the green, Glacier Peak wearing the white. Raven Blackburn jumping on with us right now. And Raven, you've been watching the first half here a little bit, and you've seen Edmonds-Woodway play a couple times this year. What do you think they need to do here in the second half?
Well, I've noticed with the games that I've seen them playing recently is that they tend to have a really strong defense and are kind of lacking in their midfield. It would be really great to see them kind of tighten up their midfield and kind of just communicate with each other a little more. They just really need to step up their midfield and kind of communicate with each other, figure out where the ball needs to be instead of just like kicking it out like I've seen them do a few times where there'd be people open to receive and control the ball themselves with them being wide open and an empty field in front of them.
So create a few more scoring opportunities for themselves.
Yeah.
Give themselves a chance to possibly put a goal up.
Definitely. And like I was saying, their defense has just been amazing, mostly with Smalls in goal. But, if they could just try to communicate between the positions a little more, have midfielders communicating with their defenders and their forwards and vice versa, I could really see Edmonds-Woodway coming on top with this game.
Well, we are 2 minutes now into the second half, and they're certainly showing a little more energy here to start off the second frame as that ball's kicked out of bounds and goes back over to Glacier Peak. So we're gonna tune back into you in a little bit here and get you to give us a little more of an assessment. So keep your eyes on what's going on here and do not go too far because we've got a few other folks I want to bring on here at this time too. Somebody else who might know a thing or two about Edmonds-Woodway soccer, and that ball is crossed from left to right. I believe we're going to get an offsides call. It is indeed the call, so Edmonds-Woodway now will take the ball back over. A person who knows a thing or two about playing soccer here at Edmonds-Woodway and winning at Edmonds-Woodway. She's now a state champion this year. Maddie Schultz is joining us. Maddie, what's going on?
Nothing much. How you been?
Doing good.
Good.
We haven't talked to you since last time we had you on the air and Sound Live was during football season, and I think at the time you the ladies were third or fourth place in the conference, and shortly after that you went on a nice run and you ended up winning a state championship.
Yeah, we pulled it off.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, I'd be remiss if I didn't, as we might have a little bit of a play here right now, and we're going to get you to talk about your own team. I'm also going to ask you a lot of questions about the boys here, since you go to school with all of them, and you know some of them
Lucky
better
me.
than others, right? So we'll get you to catch us up. Before we go any further, by the way, we've got a defender down here. We're in the number 13. He is not on our roster. Who is that?
That is Trey. Trey.
Well, that's Trey Clugston.
Yeah.
Okay, number 6 in our
Yeah,
our
he's a senior.
program. Okay, so Trey was the mystery man. We just kept calling him number 13 in the first half, and that ball going right through the box to the goalkeeper as Edmonds-Woodway looked to put on a threat there momentarily. So I got to ask you about your own team real quick. So first of all, that semifinal game this year at the state tournament, you played the Bellevue Wolverines.
Yeah.
Yeah, big smile on your face. You know what's coming here, right?
Absolutely.
I think Bellevue had, 6 or 7 goals all season long going into that game. And here we go, a little push from Glacier Peak as Griffin Small slides up and makes the stop there. It gets that ball away from number 21, Brandon Rangel. So you played against Bellevue. I think Bellevue had scored 6 or 7, or had given up 6 or 7 goals all season
Yeah, they
through
were undefeated.
20-something games. What was the final score of that game?
3-0.
3-0. So 3 goals in the game for both teams combined.
Yeah.
How many goals did you score?
3.
Atta girl. I had to throw that one out there.
It's
So
all good.
yeah, well, it's very good.
They held us to a loss of the first game of the season. So going in, we were a little apprehensive about the whole thing.
But you had revenge on your mind.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
And you wanted to get to the state championship
Yeah,
game.
they wrote an article about a freshman girl on their team that I didn't exactly like. So.
This is where we get all the good stuff right here. Glacier Peak, nice slide tackle there by number 13/number 6, Trey Clugston. Clugston preventing number 1, Miles Johnston, from crossing that ball back into the middle. So Bellevue 3-0. Maddie Schultz 3, Bellevue 0. And then who'd you beat in the championship game?
Ferndale. We beat them 2-1. We had 2 early in the first half.
That ball goes out of bounds, sails to the left. So was Ferndale a team that you'd seen during district play?
No, we had not seen them at all. So it was kind of like after we played in our semis, they played directly after us. So we sat and watched their semifinal game for about a half, and then that was really all we saw of them. I mean, we were still pretty focused on ourselves and winning, so it was kind of just we didn't really know what we were getting ourselves into leading into the finals.
So did Ferndale come up through the consolation bracket of the district then, or how did you miss
we
them?
had no expectation of playing them. I think we expected to play either the Bellevue or a team along those lines that their record for their district games and things like that were a lot better.
So about 6 minutes now we're into the 7th minute of the half here. Still no score. So all in all, a great season. It ends with a state championship.
Yeah.
And the last time you and I spoke, I guess, was in mid-October. I think it was homecoming, Edmonds-Woodway versus Mount Lake Terrace.
God.
You kind of remember that.
Of course.
Nice job. Like I said, at the time, the team, I don't know if I'd say you were struggling, but you weren't having all the success you wanted to have at that point in time.
Yeah,
What was really the big the factor that kind of turned things around for you?
I mean, leading in, Edmonds-Woodway always has a pretty good roster on paper, so high expectations leading into the whole thing. A lot of seniors, a lot of people that wanted to do well, and I think once we all kind of figured our place and stepped back from some things and everyone stopped doing too much, it got to a point where it was just like everyone was just trying to be the playmaker and things along those lines.
So the team started gelling a little bit.
Yeah.
Everybody figured out their role, and
exactly.
things just kind of got rolling from there, huh?
Laid back a little bit.
Well, nice. Well, again, congratulations. That was
Thank you.
big-time run for all of you, and it was good to see you get that championship. And I know you have, it was, like you said, a lot of seniors on that team. I think, three Division I players?
Yeah, I think there were 5 of us all together.
Oh, there was 5 now, okay.
Or maybe 4, I don't know. I think some might have committed by now. But, yeah, I think it was 16 years Bill was coaching until he got one.
And he finally got his title. Well,
about time.
And I believe I said this on the air earlier. I think I've seen this more than one time here, but that was the first state championship for an Edmonds-Woodway team of any sort, right? Since the two have been combined.
Exactly, yeah.
That's been almost 25 years. So that
Too long.
Yeah, definitely. So it's nice to see the Warriors be able to put up that banner, and big assembly at school, I think, later on that week, right?
Of course.
Had to be a lot of fun for you.
Of course. We celebrated for the whole week.
The North Carolina coaches talked to you a little bit about that too? Are they excited
Actually, they
for it?
called me on the way down to the game, and then I was like, yeah, I mean, we'll see how it goes, and they think everyone that's a Tar Heel should be winning, so try to just go along with it.
I shouldn't assume that everybody knows this because like I said, it's been a few months since we've talked to you, but you are in fact committed to playing at the University of North Carolina. You're only a junior, so you've got another year left.
One more, we'll see.
Here goes a ball crossed in the middle, and big sigh of relief for Maddie there as that ball sails over the goal. We haven't even gotten to this yet. The goalkeeper out there, Griffin Small.
Yeah.
You know, you've met him before?
Yeah, you could say. I claim him.
Your boyfriend out there. So
yeah.
Are you a very nervous girlfriend right now watching the district championship game?
I mean, it's more of just like I'm a forward, so I know goalkeeper's mistakes. So then it's like you feel bad for him, but then at the same time you're kind of like, dude, like.
So the forward dating the goalkeeper, are you able to kind of give him advice then as to what he should look for in a?
He doesn't look for it. I mean, we've played soccer one time, and I've not yet scored on him.
Oh, really?
So,
okay.
I mean, we were just messing around, so it wasn't like I was actually going my hardest. But
well,
no, he's still in the clear.
That ball gets put right into the middle of the box there, and give a lot of credit to the other goalkeeper as Norfisham.
Yeah, he's playing really well.
He's playing excellent soccer so far. He jumps in there and bats that ball away. So, yeah, I mean, Nathan and I were talking about this on the air in the first half. I've got to think for the guys here, a little more pressure knowing that the girls have won a state title. Boys might need to do something now.
They need to do something.
Do you remind them of that?
Of course. We got posters, and then you get your season, your schedule at the bottom of it. And they made a poster, too. So, of course, they're thinking road to state, big winners. But we'll see. They better not make it to state because that's the day of Griffin's prom, and I have a very nice dress I'm planning to wear.
That's
But I
dun
mean,
dun dun.
If I had to, I'd sit at the soccer field. It's not like I'm not used to that by now.
Well, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves because you do have to win 3 games before you can get to the state championship
that's what I
game.
keep reminding him, but he
But-
seems to think that they've got it. I don't know.
I wonder if Glacier Peak has prom that same night. This could be a problem for both of these two teams. Oh, they already
Yeah.
had prom? I don't
Lucky
know.
them. See?
Not sure how Nathan Ani from Arlington knows that Glacier Peak already had their prom. But, but so Edmonds-Woodway's prom next Saturday,
No,
next
2 weeks.
2 weeks, and that's when the
Yeah.
championship game would be played.
Yep.
Down in Puyallup.
2
boy.
o'clock game, so he could make it.
And prom would be starting at what time?
The pictures are at 4:30, so
Okay, well, I mean, you that's the nice
we'd
thing.
make it to the dance.
Well, let's keep in mind that he wouldn't be the only one. He'd have about 15
No,
or
oh
20
my
teammates that
gosh.
would also be late to
know.
prom, right? And looking at the seniors on this list, there's quite a few of them.
Oh gosh.
I think
We try not to think too much of it.
that'd be a heck of a day, though, wouldn't it? Prom and
I
a state
mean,
championship.
I'd be there.
Yeah,
In my dress. No, I'd put my sweats on.
be quite the celebration for everybody, though. That'd be worth having a dance for,
It'd be
right?
one to remember.
You guys can't get the prom moved to Puyallup somewhere where
Oh
closer
gosh.
to the.
We could. I don't know.
Where's
The-
prom this year?
It is at the aquarium.
In downtown Seattle.
Yep.
Oh, well, there you go. He might just have to take the tux
oh
and
gosh.
go from Puyallup to the aquarium.
No shower needed.
Well, jump in with the fish for a little bit, clean
Oh,
yourself off,
God.
and you're ready to dance.
He would. He would. That's just who he is.
Well, you might have some teammates that will join him. 28 minutes showing on the clock, still no score. But hey, who needs goals when we've got this to talk about?
yeah. Oh, God.
Proms and shot on goal. Nice job, and the ball gets away. Shot on goal. No, off the side of the foot. Mahmoud had an open look at it as Norfisham batted the ball in front of him. Fell to the turf. The ball was rolling freely. Nobody but Mahmoud and the goalkeeper standing between the goal. And it looked as though that ball might have just caught the side of his foot.
Oh boy.
I'll get Nathan Ani here for a moment. He can kind of talk about that one a little bit as well.
That one was going to go in. I'm not quite sure how
That
it
was-
didn't.
Now, I mean, you've played a lot of forward in your time, or some forward anyway. What's going through your mind when you see that ball bounce right in front of the goalkeeper like that? And Maddie, you jump in there too. You tell me what you normally would see in a situation like that.
That's
Your
a-
eyes got to get a little big, don't they?
Yeah.
That's a better question for her. I
It's a
play
goal.
defender.
I mean, I've missed enough in my life that you can't be too mad at the kid for missing, but he certainly wants that one back in this game too.
And again, the way that both goalkeepers are playing right now, and we're not just saying that because one of their girlfriends
No,
is
you don't need to.
with us. I mean, really, both of these guys having a tremendous game, and quite frankly, they're a huge reason why both of these teams are playing in this game.
Absolutely.
0-0, Glacier Peak now looking to get something going on. We were talking earlier, too, a little bit. Now, Maddie, you play on a Crossfire Select team, correct?
Yeah, so
In
we're on
Redmond?
the ECNL team, yeah.
And Nathan, you do as well.
Yeah.
And I think, Maddie, you and I might have talked about this briefly when I interviewed you during the football game in October, because it always kind of fascinates me. Nathan, you, as we wait to see what happens here, as ball gets put into the box, ricochets out, finally clearing it out is Edmonds-Woodway. Shot from far out, rolls rather easily back to Small, fields that one, picks it up with 26 minutes to go here. Now, Nathan, you are not able to play high school soccer for your high school team because of the team you play for, correct?
Right. Yeah.
That's a traveling team, and that's part of the agreement that you have when you sign up for a team like that.
Correct.
Now-
The seasons are at the same time, so if they let us all play, we wouldn't have much of an academy.
Ball is
team.
crossed and off the head of Stevenson, just to the left of the post. Small giving him a high five there as he appreciates his defensive player for helping him out. And both teams now, the last few minutes, with their opportunities, just not quite able to put it in the goal. So we're going to get a corner kick right now as Spencer Pettit, number 9, about to take the kick. 25-21 showing on the clock. And Small goes up, pulls that one down. Talk about the strategy of that corner kick a little bit there, too. What were we looking at there?
Sometimes they call it an in-swinger, so he's just trying to bend it. Depends what foot he kicks it with. So if he's a lefty, then he's kind of got to hit it differently. But they're just trying to get it away from the keeper, but hopefully in their 6, so someone can get on it.
Do you change your strategy depending on the keeper and what his tendencies are?
Yeah. So like if
I mean, what's Spencer
Small.
Pettit knows Griffin Small. What's he
exactly,
thinking?
Exactly. Yeah. So Small's not like a 6'5" goalie.
Yeah, no.
So you don't have to worry about. He's good coming out of the air, but he's not going to gobble up everything that you're playing. So you can play it a little closer to him. Sometimes when you got those guys with the long reach, you have to really curl it around. But so Glacier Peak has Spencer Pettit hit one of the corners, the in-swingers on that side, and then Alex Bergstrom, the lefty, hits the other corners. And so they're trying to swing the balls in.
And here we go. Shot on goal. No, almost. Another opportunity missed for Edmonds-Woodway. Ball is back in the box, diving for it. Shot on goal once again over the top. Number 16. That was Mahmoud with another look at it. 2 very nice opportunities for the Warriors, and they're not able to capitalize on either one.
That's the second one for
Oh, boy.
Edmonds there, where the goalie's nowhere to be found, and they just can't get good contact on it.
Well, and Tano had that ball cross over to his left side initially, and he was about 6 yards out. Couldn't tell from here. We're a little bit further up, but it looked as though he had an open look at it and just couldn't come up with the shot. And then give a lot of credit to Norfisham with the diving stop, diving forward, batting it in front of the box, and Mahmoud was right there with about a 20-yard look and just sailed it over the top of the goal. 23 minutes shown on the clock right now. A lot of contact there. And apparently we're going to get Clogston called. He's trying to argue his case. It appears as though Bergstrom will take the kick. And Nathan, this goes back to what you were talking about, I suppose. From the right side, Bergstrom. From the left, Pettit.
Yep. So he'll curve it in with the inside of his left foot here.
Small, setting his defensive players. Langston and Tano in front. And a nice job of heading that one out is Peregrino. And finally cleared out of bounds. It was one of the Warrior defensive players as we look at 22 minutes left on the clock. So getting back to that a little bit, Nathan, you are not permitted to play for your high school team when you play for the Crossfire select team that you play for.
Right.
Yet, Maddie, you play in essentially the same type of a situation, yet you can play still.
Yeah, so they're academy, and they're a lot more strict with their boys program. The girls' ECNL program is probably about 4 years old in the entire nation, our league. So there's about 5 events a year, and you can choose to go to which events you want. You go to 3, and then you play your other conference games on whatever the weekends you choose. So we have a little more flexibility as with the boys.
Nice job by Small, by the way.
It's a lot more strict. They're looking to go straight into the pro league, or they're looking to go to college. So with the girls, there's a lot more choices as to what events we can go to, and the boys kind of, if you want to be as good as you can, they kind of think that why would you want to play high school? So they're a little meaner to them, as with us, they let us do it all.
Well, either way, it's a lot of soccer, I suppose.
It's a lot, yeah.
Nice job by Small to step up and clear that one out. You can tell there's a little more of a sense of urgency from both of these two teams. Earlier, the pace was much slower. A nice kick by Mahmoud to push it ahead to Tano. And coming over to defend the play is number 7, Wyatt Miller. Miller pushes it ahead to Seed. Both of these teams realizing that there's 20 minutes or so to go in this game, and one goal might be all it takes to win. They're both pushing the limits right now. Oh, and we get a little bit of a pushing match here. Far side of the field from us. It's as though we've got number 10 for Glacier Peak, Riley Prescott, who just blatantly put Stevenson down into the turf. I've yet to see a flag or a penalty card.
Yeah.
Both of you surprised that we're not seeing a yellow card right now?
There we go.
Oh.
Yep, I think that's deserving. I don't know if it was necessary for him to get up and react the way he did there.
As a player, when you're in a game like this of this magnitude, do you try to check yourself a little bit more than maybe you would say if it were, middle of the season or, game number 9 of the regular season? And obviously, you don't want to do anything that hurts your team, but also at the same time, you want to stay in this game, right?
Well, even more importantly, I'd say you get red carded in this game.
You're out for the next one.
You're both going to state. You just want to be able to play in the next game. So Prescott's got to be smart now. But in a game like this, it's a lot quicker to get heated. A lot more is on the line.
With Jake defending you, I think Jake has another little bit of a issue with the other forward when they played Shorewood. So I think this is Jake's second one so far, getting at it with another player.
Yeah, it's Jake Stevenson you're talking. And we saw Jake getting a little bit feisty. I don't know if that was
Same guy. Oh yeah.
Was that earlier with Prescott as well? So those
Jake's
two are
known
getting to know each other
likes
pretty
it.
well.
Yeah.
So we're now showing 18:56 to go on the clock. Now you were saying earlier you did not want to see this game get to the point where we're at penalty kicks, but then again I was teasing you because you've got Griffin Small.
Yeah, we got Griffin Small, but I mean, probably I'll have to hang out with him later tonight. It would be a lot easier if he was in a better mood. So they're just stressful. Oh gosh, and it's just 5 kicks can't determine a game, but I mean, eventually you have to find out a winner.
Well, that's the interesting thing about penalty kicks is during the regular season, games can end in ties.
Yeah.
So you don't do penalty kicks unless you're playing in a tournament of this magnitude. So I would think that a lot of these players, and you can both speak to this because I know you play so many games outside of just your high school games as well, but how often do you get in situations where you play in penalty kick situation games?
I don't because we can end in ties, so we do points per game. So you get 3 points for a win, 2 points for a tie, and none for a loss. So for us, ties don't make a difference.
But if you're playing in a tournament, like in a championship? Or
Oh, absolutely. In those kinds of games, it's usually – actually, if you tie in some of ours, it depends what tournament you're playing in. You go to goals against or goal differential because we just have so many girls that it's just like the tournament's flying. It's 2 days, 3 days long, and you can't afford to have games be pushed back because girls fly out the next day.
I gotcha.
So for us, I mean, obviously, in the national final or, national championship, you're going to be playing some sort of penalty kicks at the end. But for us, it's just so many volume of games being played that you can't afford for them to be pushed back.
Not that the penalty kicks take up too much time.
No.
I think.
Right. But like Maddie was saying, 5 kicks don't determine a game. So if you can call it a tie, they will. And so I saw penalty kicks more when I was younger, doing local tournaments like that. I remember U11. I missed my penalty kick.
Oh, I missed too. Oh,
Never
one game.
haven't taken a PK since.
I haven't either.
How do you both feel about a game ending on a penalty kick? I mean, I would think from the fan standpoint, I know for me personally, I don't like it. I would rather see these two teams or any two teams play for 3 or 4 hours rather than say, okay, we're going to place the ball right here and kick away and we'll see who wins this game. I mean, wouldn't you rather keep playing until somebody gets a goal?
I would rather, yeah, but I don't know if that's.
As a player, they probably don't want it.
They can only.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get through that overtime period, your bodies are getting pretty fatigued, and so I think that's why they do it. They just got to crown somebody a winner.
Yeah, but when you get more fatigued, you're more apt to see mistakes, which lead to goals, right?
It'd certainly be more fun, but.
Nice job by Spencer Pettit to get in Mahmoud's way and kick it out of play. Down to 16 minutes to go. So 0-0 still on the board. We are now into our 65th minute of play. Still looking for the first goal of this game. A goal that at this point might be the difference between putting up a banner and finishing first or taking second place in districts. So, Maddie, we were being told that the team that wins this game and wins the district will have a home game on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Losing team's going to have to go on the road, and we don't know where yet.
Not decided. Will depend on another winner.
No, are you? And we think it's somewhere down south. Is what I heard earlier. Is that the same thing you've heard? Or?
Yeah. I think it was between 2 teams that are down that way.
Do you know who the 2 teams were? Somebody told me. Somebody mentioned Camas to me. I'm not sure if that's true or not. But
no, they wouldn't go that far on a Tuesday night. They might be halfway at a neutral location, but I wouldn't expect us to see them for a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, especially a Tuesday night game on the road.
That's
Yeah,
brutal,
no.
Cam.
That's pretty tough. And you might have I mean, I would think, Maddie, you're probably going to go either way, right? Or
If I don't have practice, of course.
corner kick. Ball is centered. Shot on goal. Stevenson pushes it over the top. Out of play. So, I mean, we were joking about it earlier, or just talking about it. Certainly, we were trying to decide which game is bigger, the third-place game or this game. The third-place game, obviously, which
Yeah,
was won by
they-
Shorewood. I mean, obviously, the difference is that if you lose that game, you're eliminated, and that's what happened to Meadowdale. But really, again, you can say that there's not as much on the line for these two teams because they both advance, but the difference between hosting a game on a Tuesday night or having to travel maybe an hour or two away, that's a big difference.
Oh yeah, it's way more fun too to have it. You get some people out to your game and things along those lines were huge. I remember we played Seattle Prep here on a Saturday night for the quarterfinal game for state, and it was a huge difference. Way more fun.
Now you, much like the boys, the girls played their semifinal and their championship game at Sparks Stadium down in Puyallup.
Yep.
And that's if anybody's just joining us right now, Maddie Schultz joining us, and member of that state championship team for Edmonds-Woodway from back in the fall. What kind of a stadium is that at Sparks? Is it
It's
very
really
similar
pretty.
to this one?
Yeah, it's a little smaller, so you're kind of the crowd fills it up. So it's a lot more fun, and everyone's kept to one side. They have a smaller set of bleachers on the behind the field or behind the teams, but it's really fun. They decorate it all up, and it's a big event. They do a really good job.
As we mentioned earlier, the semifinals are where we start playing there. Both of these teams would have to win 2 games at state in the tournament to get there. But it's still kind of fun to kind of look ahead a little bit and think about it. Shot on goal, wide. Hopkins crossing that one from right to left. Pushed it just a little bit too far to the left. And with 13 minutes showing on the clock, we're going to get another goal kick from Glacier Peak. Nice job getting rid of that one. That's Clogston. So 12:43 to go here. Maddie, I was thinking about this a minute ago. I mean, obviously you were watching the game in the stands earlier. Is it a little more peaceful up here? You get to stand a little bit and stretch?
Yeah, I kind of just sit by myself. A lot of friends are here, but they like to talk, so I just kind of go sit. I sit at the 50, so no matter where or what end we're playing at,
You've got a pretty good
I have a
viewpoint.
good seat.
So you lose about 10 yards by being up here with us on the 40 here. But
It's no big deal.
no, we certainly appreciate you giving us your time and your input here on this Edmonds-Woodway team. What have your thoughts been as you've watched them all season long? I mean, obviously, this is, in answer to this one maybe honestly for me, I mean, this is a team that won 4 games all of last year.
Oh yeah.
Were the expectations that they could maybe do this year, or were you surprised?
I mean, they obviously know they're. Oh.
Here we go, a breakaway right now. Coming over to defend that ball, that's number 7, Wyatt Miller. And if Miller wasn't there, Edwin Martinez might have had a clear shot towards the goal. Ball was pushed just a little bit too far to the left, allowing Miller to get an opportunity to come back and make the defensive play. I mean, this is a team that hasn't been in the playoffs the last couple of years. Like I said, had trouble winning games, period, last year. I think if you'd maybe told a lot of folks that they were going to get to the district playoffs at all, they would have been content with that. But here we are in the championship game.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, on paper, their team hasn't changed a whole lot, but they honestly added. I mean, obviously Jose, the forward, he just came to Edmonds-Woodway. He's a great add to the team, but for the most part, the roster hasn't changed. So still kind of a young team, a lot of juniors, but it's interesting how the mindset of them have gotten a lot better.
That was kicked from left to right through the box, goes out of play. Well, yeah, and Jose Alleman is who you're talking about and you're referring to, and not a bad addition, right?
Oh God, no. Seems to be the only one that's scoring this year for us. It's killing us.
Well, I know Coach Gilman was telling us before the game he's had 10 different players score goals this year. So at the very least, they're able to get it in the goal. But you're right, on a consistent basis, it looks like Alleman is certainly the biggest threat. Are either of you concerned or kind of surprised right now that maybe we haven't seen him as much in the second half, or haven't seen the opportunities that maybe he was having in the first half for a while?
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, I think they just need to keep getting him the ball.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit confused. He's been the best player on the field for me. But Edward has had more of the play recently, so whatever they got to do to get a goal.
They're certainly doing a nice job of getting the ball in front of the goal. It's just a matter of putting it in the net now. Biggest difference from the first half to the second half for either of you so far? Anything that any adjustments that you can see from either team?
I mean, Woodway just needs to finish. They're getting there, but someone's got to put it in the net for them.
Ooh.
So he just gets the ball and he makes things happen.
Yeah.
But really the difference for me, I haven't seen a change in the way their formations are or anything, but the way both teams are playing, they're playing like they're trying to score a goal now instead of just content with 0-0.
Stevenson. Looks like he's about 38 yards outside the goal. 39 yards outside the goal. Free kick coming up here. Sends that one into the box. Doing a nice job of stepping up. Here's Norfisham. Gets a nice boot on that one.
Oh, God.
And almost sneaking through there. That's number 21, Brandon Rangel. Fairly quick player in his own right. Has tried to get by the defenders there. So again, 8:23 showing on the clock. Just to remind everybody, if we are tied after regulation, it then becomes a golden goal situation, a sudden death. So first team to score a goal would win. We would play 2 5-minute halves. So we would play a 5-minute overtime, stop play if nobody has scored, change sides of the field, and then play for another 5 minutes. If we still are tied, we would then go to a shootout situation where each team would have 5 essential penalty shot opportunities. And the team that makes the most would win. Here we go. Play in the middle. Just pushed to the left again. I believe that was Hopkins, was it not?
Yeah.
Number 10 on Edmonds-Woodway's got some speed. He's got some pace to getting behind there.
Martinez coming down the right side, pushed it into the middle. Hopkins had a look, just pushed it a little far to the side. Maddie, you can breathe again.
Oh, my gosh.
If only this game were a little more exciting, right?
Oh, God. A little less exciting, almost.
Well, we're not seeing the goals, but we're certainly seeing the action here this half. Edmonds-Woodway with more than their share of opportunities. They just have not been able to put it in. Glacier Peak now looking to attack on their side of the field. Miller puts it into the middle. Edmonds-Woodway able to clear it out. It's Hopkins with the ball. Finally pushes it over to Mahmoud. Edmonds-Woodway looking to attack right now. Leland back to Mahmoud. Trying to center the ball and kicked away. That's number 11. Tucker Davis clearing it out. Clock continues to tick here. Every moment counts right now. Glacier Peak looking for something along the right side. And Peregrino finally able to clear that one out. We're getting another substitution as Rangel's going to take a seat on the bench for a few minutes for Glacier Peak as number 4, Quinn Ingals, checks into the game. He's going to get a substitution for Edmonds-Woodway as well. As Daniel Leland's going to take a seat while Lucas Tekel-Merriam comes back in. What are the rules for substitution in high school soccer?
I don't know if there are any restrictions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're unlimited.
Yeah.
Ball's cleared back behind the goalpost, out of bounds.
There used to be a rule where you got yellow carded. You'd have to get subbed off, but I don't know if that's in place anymore. Actually, I know it's not because Prescott didn't get taken off.
So 75 minutes into play here. We're heading towards the 76th minute. We've got to think fatigue is probably setting in for some of these guys right now, right? We're starting to see a few more substitutions here and there. Could become a game of attrition. Who's fresher in the overtime period, perhaps?
Hopefully they're all in shape for that.
I've got to think a game of this magnitude, adrenaline kicks in at some point as well, right?
Exactly.
Even if you're feeling tired,
they're going to keep going.
Mahmoud doing a nice job of blocking that and then kicking that ball out of bounds. Glacier Peak not getting as many looks as they did in the first half. Is that more of something that they're just not able to convert, or are we giving credit to Edmonds-Woodway for the way they're playing defense right now?
I was kind of thinking the same thing. I haven't seen anything in the beginning of the second half. Glacier Peak knocked the ball well a couple times, and they had a few little chances, but lately there hasn't been too much play from them that has looked towards goal and like it's going to get anything done.
Yeah, a lot of fouls from us, giving them a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, and even having said that, though, they're not really getting a lot of those clear looks at the goal. I mean,
Edmonds-Woodway's definitely had more scoring opportunities in this half.
Of course, as soon as we say that, Glacier Peak lining up for the free kick here. Connor Seed is going to try to put this one towards the goal. Ball's kicked over to the left. Header just wide of the goal. Did not see who put that one up. Might have been Tucker Davis, was it not? Or did I?
I thought that was Riley Prescott.
Was it Prescott? Okay, so Prescott did have a nice look on the left side.
He didn't let the ball run out of the goal box or in the penalty box on that goal kick, so they had to redo it.
Need another penalty or another goal kick. Clock now showing 3:09. Don't think we're going to have much added play, I wouldn't think, at the end of this one.
Yeah, I can't think of any injuries that have taken up too much time.
I know Edwin Martinez went down at one point about halfway through the second half, maybe about 20 minutes ago, but even that didn't take very long to get him cleared off. So I would imagine we're pretty much on time right now as the clock shows 2:42. And there won't be much break between regulation and overtime either. So we might be heading towards our second straight overtime here in the 3A district playoffs, game that preceded this one. Shot on goal, nice block. I believe that might have been number 18, Cameron Cohn, getting a foot on it. Number 6, Connor Seed, with an attempted shot. As I started to mention, the game prior to this one, won by Shorewood during the second overtime, about 2 minutes short of the penalty kick situation. Martinez has that ball briefly, gets it taken away by Wyatt Miller.
I don't know about that one.
Miller got ready to throw it in, and finally the referee says, nope, you touched it last. Mahmoud bringing that ball into the center, kicking it to the right, taken away by Glacier Peak. Mahmoud steps back in front of it. Stevenson now with the ball for Edmonds-Woodway. Clock now is shut off as it's being kept on the field. We're under 2 minutes to go here in regulation. No score. Martinez getting that ball over to Langstead. Ball goes out of bounds. Edmonds-Woodway keeping possession here on their side of the field. Looking to threaten right now. Trey Clugston will throw the ball in. Centers it into the box. Stevenson ends up getting it on the right-hand side, taken away by Glacier Peak, and they're looking to push it. Running low on time right now. Just looking for anything as they try to send that ball down the left sideline, taken away by Edmonds-Woodway. Scramble for it. And going to the ground, I believe, was that Jose Allman? It was. Edmonds-Woodway looking at a free kick from about 40 yards out. I believe that is Stevenson lining up for the kick. Any expectations on this kick? What should we be looking for? Is he trying to center this one? What's he trying to do?
Try to put it on the back post.
Oh.
And going up for the header was Hopkins. Nice play by the goaltender, Norfisham. Clears that one out, and we should be under about 30 seconds to go before we hear that whistle, unless they've added time to the clock. Not sure if we're going to get extended play. That ball gets pushed past number 4 in Gulls. Griffin Small stepping up to grab it. Now played roughly 80 minutes of play here on the pitch. No score here tonight. Anticipating that whistle. We haven't gotten it yet. Nice job by number 18, Devin Potts. Glacier Peak hoping for one last chance before that whistle blows, and it gets away from him. Number 1, Mike Johnston, couldn't quite come up with that one.
Oh, wow.
And there is the whistle, and we are through regulation 0-0. And as we mentioned earlier, we're going to have 2 5-minute overtime periods coming up here. Golden goal. You score, you win. It's that simple. No score, we go to penalty kicks.
Yeah.
80 minutes without. Hopefully we can go 10 minutes with one. Love to see this game not go to PKs.
When you're playing a 5-minute period like that, obviously it changes everything in terms of your strategy. I mean, you can't really set up to, okay, here's what we want to do 10 or 20 minutes into the action here. You've already got a feel for what each team is capable of doing. As a coach, what are you telling your players right now?
That's what I was thinking that too, because really it's 10 minutes of overtime, but with the 5-minute split, it takes away a little bit of your feel for the game. You can't really get a groove into it because 5 minutes in and they're calling the game and you're switching sides again. And so with that, it's hard to get chemistry. It'll be interesting to see if they play it like it's normal, like they're just playing a game, or if they're going to start throwing everybody up type things and just hitting long balls into the box. I'd like to see them keep playing soccer, but sometimes it just comes into it. Who can hit the ball longest and win balls in the air.
So Griffin Small taking a seat on the bench right now all by himself as he collects his thoughts and gets ready for this overtime session. Interesting to see the similarities and differences between the two goalkeepers right now, whereas Son Norfisham is over standing with his teammates right now in their huddle. The mind of the goalkeeper, the psyche, right? It's a little bit different than other positions, especially when you know right now that you might be 10 minutes away from having a huge say in the outcome of this game because you might be facing penalty shots.
All right, you can never think like a goalkeeper. I think Maddie can agree
weird.
with me that goalkeepers are usually the stranger ones on the team. Griffin's pretty normal though, but if you're Edmonds-Woodway, you got to be thinking if this game does go to PKs, we have one of the best, if not the best, goalkeepers in high school right now, in between the posts, and that's got to make them feel a little bit better if they play that tactic where they just try to get it to PKs.
I'll tell you what, if you're a member of the Glacier Peak team, or if you are Son Norfisham, I don't know if you're necessarily agreeing with that.
Right?
he's looking pretty good himself right now. He and Griffin are both playing outstanding
Yeah, I
games.
think they're more worried about who the 5 are going to be to take them.
Yeah, definitely. And there's always a strategy, too, as far as putting players in position as to when you take those kicks, too, right? It's a little more stressful, I would think, if you're the 4th or 5th player kicking the ball, because at that point you kind of know what the situation is and how badly your team needs that goal, either to win or to stay alive, right?
Right. That's why I'm all right with being number 10 on the list.
You're okay with that shooting, right?
My childhood ruined me.
And if we are tied after 5 shots each, and I'm getting ahead of myself again because we still have 10 minutes to play here, can you start rotating from the beginning again, or do you keep going down the bench?
Yeah, gotta keep
The
going.
goalies will even shoot before they start over.
Well, that might be kind of fun.
Yeah, that is
Just let
fun.
them
It's
settle
awesome.
in, right?
No.
Yeah, if we do go to PKs, I'd love to see some goalies taking them.
Maddie, what kind of foot does Griffin have? Is he a shooter?
I mean, for a while I didn't even think he could run.
Well, that's the beauty of soccer. If you're just shooting a
I guess
penalty
you can.
kick, right? You don't need to run.
Yeah.
What I have to say about goalies taking PKs is most of the time, goalies at practice, if they're not involved in the drill, I always see them over there messing around taking PKs on each other.
Yeah.
So they're probably more prepared. They're probably more prepared than some of the other ones.
That's a good point. They are really working each other out all the time, so they are, in essence, kicking penalty kicks all the time, right?
But then they're still goalkeepers.
Yeah. They're just
No offense to any goalkeepers out there.
Well, and again, we continue to watch down on the sideline here. Is not sure what Griffin's doing right now as he's over on his bench. Maybe
he's probably talking to his buddy Kelvin. I don't know.
Here he comes. He's finally off the bench and coming back into play.
Like you said, we can't lose Griffin. We always know where Griffin's at with those gloves.
He's got those yellow gloves.
Oh, God.
Well, there's a few fashion statements out there as I'm looking at some of those shoes for the Edmonds-Woodway players.
Yeah, their parents must love them. God.
Martinez is hard to miss out there, isn't he, with those pink shoes? Go rather nicely with the Edmonds-Woodway green. Well, we are ready to go here. These guys are lined up. 5 minutes for this half, but again, one goal would end it. We could play for 10 more minutes. We could play for 20 seconds. Just a matter of if anybody can get this ball into one of the nets. We're about to find out. Glacier Peak going from our left to our right. Connor Seed with the ball. Nice steal by Mahmoud. He comes up with it. Looking for somebody in the center of the field. Finally kicks it over to number 14, Tekel Merriam. Edmonds-Woodway looking to go on the attack. Ball goes out of bounds. You're going to say it was last touched by a Warrior. So Glacier Peak will now throw the ball in. And you can just feel there's a little more tension here in the stadium right now. Everybody knows that this game could end with one shot. Ball goes off the back of Hopkins' head.
Boy.
He comes out, gets by the goalkeeper. There's nobody in goal. He's on the far right side, crosses it into the middle. Nobody there to take it. Just goes over the head of Martinez. Gutsy play by Norfisham to come out of the goal. Glacier Peak coming away with the ball.
Yeah, Glacier Peak's midfield stepping up this overtime. They're killing them. Oh.
Maddie Schultz getting more and more nervous, I can tell by just looking at her here right now. Ball goes into the bushes, and going to get it is Connor Seed. 3:35 in this first overtime. We mentioned it's not a lot of time of play, but we also did see an overtime goal just a couple hours ago from Shorewood. Glacier Peak trying to get that ball into the box, finally taken away. I believe that might have been Alleman. Kicks it forward. Spencer Pettit quickly back to for Glacier Peak. Gets it over to his keeper, who clears the ball up the field. 3 minutes to go now on the clock. Ball also being cleared as Clugston doing a nice job to keep that ball away from number 10, Riley Prescott. Prescott putting a nice run on it, but couldn't come up with the ball. Prescott deciding not to throw that one in. He drops it, allowing Wyatt Miller to throw it in instead. Ball is kicked into the middle. Not able to get his foot on the ball as Ingles is able to chase it down over on the left sideline. Edmonds-Woodway finally coming up with it.
Well done by Alex Bergstrom to turn and get that ball in. It was a dangerous ball in.
And Bergstrom giving his teammates a chance to maybe do something there. Ball is centered into the middle. Griffin Small steps up, bats it away. A nice round of applause from his Warrior faithful here in the stands. Always a dangerous play when that ball is kicked, arching that high into the goal box. And Small stepped up there and just made sure he put it where nobody could get it. Corner kick. Far post. Goes up into the air. A couple players up to get it. Nice job by one of the defensive players. Shot on goal, blocked out of bounds.
What a save.
Nice save by Small. Give a lot of credit to his teammate, too. I couldn't tell who that was initially.
That was, Cameron. Remember, he was on the line.
Cameron was on the line, batted the ball away, or headed it away. Cameron Cohn.
Yeah, 18. Oh, don't
Another
mess
corner
up now,
kick
boys. Oh.
over the top. Glacier Peak getting close. So Cameron Cohn with one game-saving stop, and then Griffin Small with another.
I thought that was game.
Yeah. Oh.
Glacier Peak getting their looks right now. We're now under 2 minutes to go in this first overtime, so the clock is shut off. Time is being kept on the field. Spencer Pettit, they call him the weapon. Let's see what kind of a weapon he is here on this corner kick. Centers the ball on the kick. Small, I believe, got his hand on it, launching that ball from 30 yards out. Number 7, Wyatt Miller, got a little too far underneath it. Kicks that one through the uprights. And Small ready for the goal kick. Talked about all the opportunities Edmonds-Woodway had early on. Glacier Peak now coming up with a few of their own. Nice job by Peregrino to force press, got out of bounds. Glacier Peak staying on the attack. Nice slide play there. I believe that was number 2. It in fact was Jeremy Langstead. Edmonds-Woodway now. I was going to say they were getting ready to kick it up, but I think we had a whistle finally, did we not?
We're having the old switcheroo here.
Okay, so 5 minutes into this overtime. We've got another 5-minute overtime period coming up. Both teams switching sides. If nobody scores in the next 5 minutes, we go to penalty kicks.
The goalkeepers have to take the longest trek here on this halftime switch.
And that's what we're waiting for right now is Griffin Small heads from our right to our left. I should say from the north to the south goal. And Son Norfisham doing the opposite for Glacier Peak. Clock's reset. Now showing 4:49 to go here in this second overtime. Spencer Pettit pushes the ball across midfield, taking it away. That's number 18, Cameron Cohn. Edmonds-Woodway slowing things down a bit, finally throwing that ball into the Edmonds-Woodway side of the field. Spencer Pettit able to get a head on it. Clears it away. Glacier Peak looking to get something going down the right side.
It's a good ball.
Nice job by number 10. That's Riley Prescott. Prescott trying to dribble from the right side into the middle of the field. Gets it taken away. Trying to threaten here. That ball goes high up into the air. A little bit of a scramble for it. And finally clearing it out is Stevenson for Edmonds-Woodway. Glacier Peak to get the throw in. Clock continues to tick as the ball is tracked down. Fans are starting to pick up the intensity as well as they get a little bit louder below us. Edmonds-Woodway in their own territory, trying to push the ball forward. .308 showing on that unofficial game clock. Stevenson picks it up, tries to get his teammates to get moving a little bit there as he knows time is running out. We know in soccer things can change in the blink of an eye. It's not unheard of to go 88, 89 minutes without any kind of a goal, and then all of a sudden As soon as you turn your head, something big happens. So do not look away from your screens right now. 2:28 showing on that clock. Edmonds-Woodway with the ball once again. Mahmoud pushes it out to Alleman. Kicks it into the middle. Ball bounces fairly easily over to Norfisham. Once again, we've moved under the 2-minute mark, so the scoreboard clock has been shut off. So the remainder of this time will be kept on the field. We're in our 89th minute of play here. If we don't get something happening here very quickly, we are going to head to penalty kicks to decide who the 2015 district champion is. Edmonds-Woodway clearing it down the field. Spencer Pettit with a nice beat on the ball. Clears it away. Doing a nice job of keeping that one from going out of bounds. That's Kevin Dewan. Dewan had a game winner the other night in the semifinal game. I'm sure he'd like to get another opportunity right here.
He pushes very far forward for a left back. It's exciting to watch.
Glacier Peak essentially playing for what might be the final shot here. And we're gonna get a corner kick here where we've got to be under a minute to go. This might be the final play. And it looks as though number 19, Alex Bergstrom, will in fact take the kick. He's going to give this one a left-footed boot. See number 8, Dewan setting up right in front of Smalls. Ball crosses across the middle. Nobody able to get it.
They had a good look there. They just missed the ball.
And now it's just a matter of waiting for that whistle, which should be coming any time now. Griffin Small sets the ball down. He knows it as well. Kicks that one down the right side. The final 2 minutes in a game like this, it feels like an eternity when you're waiting for that whistle, doesn't it? You know it's coming, but it just feels like it's going to go on and on and on. Edmonds-Woodway doing a nice job just trying to prevent Glacier Peak from going on the attack right now. And Cohn doing a wonderful job of clearing that one down to the other side of the field. Pettit back there all by himself. No real threats from any of the Warriors. In what might be the longest 2 minutes in the history of the world right now. We continue to wait for that whistle. Glacier Peak maybe with one more run at it here. Crossing that ball into the middle and doing a nice job of stepping up. Griffin Small pulling that one down.
Okay, you're going to blow it.
And Maddie Schultz knows what she's talking about. As soon as she says that, we hear a whistle. So, Maddie, we're going to let you go because I think you want to get down there and be near the field, and I don't blame you one bit. Hey, thank you very much for coming on with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. This won't be the last time we talk to you, I'm sure.
No.
So, go win or lose, go enjoy this, and
Absolutely.
tell Griffin he's playing a heck of a game, and we hope for a
Will
positive
do.
outcome for you guys.
Thank you so much.
All right, take care. So we're going to stick around for the shootout. And again, always fun to talk to Maddie Schultz. She was itching to get down there, and I don't blame her. So again, it comes down to penalty kicks here. Played 90 minutes of action. Seen the ball go back and forth, shots on goal, shots over the goal, shots to the side of the goal. Nothing has gone into the net so far. And that should change now with these penalty kicks coming up.
We'll see a couple.
So again, the rules are fairly simple, right? Each team with 5 penalty kicks. They will rotate back and forth. And whichever team scores the most penalty kicks wins the district championship.
But so if, say Edmonds-Woodway makes their first 3, and Glacier Peak makes none of the 3. They don't go through all 5 kick takers at that point because it's already been won.
And until you're mathematically eliminated, essentially,
Right.
is what you're doing there, right? So
best out of 5.
best out of 5, if needed, yeah.
And then if it continues to go up from there.
So we've got a little bit of a break here.
I wonder if the coaches, I'm sure they've already picked their 5, but I wonder if the players know in this situation what 5 they're going to be, or if they're just being told.
And certainly, you know, when you're playing in district play that this is a possibility. It's not.
Right.
It's not the regular season. You know that there's a chance that you might be able to get into a situation like this. So I would think that not only have the coaches talked about who would be taking the kicks, but they've probably practiced this to a certain extent.
Yep. But there's really no. I mean, all these players can kick the ball from 12 yards out. There's no simulation you can do to have the nerves and feelings that they're going to have.
Yeah, doing it in practice is one thing. Stepping up and doing this at Edmonds Stadium on the night of the district championship, it's
And
entirely different, isn't it?
the good thing about this is someone's season isn't going to be ended here because of penalty kicks. It's both these teams are going to get to keep playing, but now these PKs are for winning districts and bringing that banner home.
Yeah, like we mentioned, the team that wins district will be able to host the first round of the state playoffs. Team that loses will be going on the road somewhere. Notice, and even the fans are getting a little more nervous here. The Glacier Peak student body that was sitting directly in front of us, they've all gotten up to go stand along the railing. Edmonds-Woodway folks off to our left are doing the same thing right now. Everybody recognizing that the situation has come down to this. Everyone ready to go here. Both goalies standing in the box right now as they will rotate in and out. It appears as though Edmonds-Woodway will shoot first. As the junior goalie, Son Norfisham. Norfisham is in the box, ready to go. Both of the teams standing at midfield right now. Yet to see who's going to step up to take the first shot for Edmonds-Woodway.
It's a long walk there, and it's a long walk back. It's a lot better feeling after you made your PK than having to jog back to the 50 after you missed it.
And it looks as though number 13, Trey Clugston, the senior, will take kick number 1.
Being a goalie myself, I know how nervous Sam Norfisham is feeling right now. Just, gosh, the nerves must be flying out there right now.
Yeah, this is big. First of 5 penalty shots that will be taken on Norfisham. Here comes Clugston.
Put it wide.
Hit it wide to the right. He picked the right side. This is really a guessing game for the goalkeeper at this point. You just have to,
Right.
you can't really predict, or maybe you can a little bit, but you have to dive one way or the other and hope that you pick it right. He did pick the wrong way, but like you mentioned, Clugston just pushed it.
Yeah, as you get older, as a goalkeeper, it's just more luck. Guessing the right way. Goalkeepers know which way people are going from their body sometimes, but you can't wait to see where it's going to go.
Miles Johnston, number 1, will take the first penalty kick for Glacier Peak. Griffin Small in the box, ready to go. Into the net. Johnston pushes it to the right, into the back of the net. Smalls dives to his right, opposite of where that ball went, and we have a 1-0 score here through one round of penalty kicks. Puts a little more pressure on Edmonds-Woodway now, and stepping up to take the kick, Sofian Mahmoud, number 16. Also a senior. Mahmoud steps up. Makes it.
I don't think the ref had given him the okay.
I was wondering about that. I thought, wait a second here.
So he's going to have to redo it here. He made his practice one, though.
And now you have to wonder, does he go in a different direction now? The goalie
now it's all mind games.
Thinks he might know where you're going here, as he was ready to kick that one to his left. Nice stop.
Yep.
Norfishen not having to dive too far over to the right for that matter. He really...
And I think it plays into him kicking that first one. He went back to the same way he did.
Thinking that maybe there would be some reverse psychology, but Mahmoud went right into the same spot, and Norfishen was waiting for it. So Glacier Peak with an opportunity to go up 2-0 here through 2 rounds. And Kevin Dewan, one of the captains, stepping up to take this kick. Pushes it just inside of the pole, into the goal. Can't place that one much better either. Griffin Small played it correctly, dove to his left. If Dewan hits it anywhere other than right next to that pole, I think Small makes the stop.
Guessed right.
So Glacier Peak, 2 for 2. Edmonds-Woodway yet to get one here.
Edmonds-Woodway really needs this one here.
If Edmonds-Woodway were to miss in this round and Glacier Peak were to make, we would be done. Alejandro Peregrino, the senior defensive player, stepping in. Pushes that one right into the goal, just to the right. Edmonds-Woodway trailing 2-1. Very casually walking towards the goal. Ready to give this one a go. That's number 10, Riley Prescott, the senior forward. Edmonds-Woodway 1 for 3. Glacier Peak 2 for 2. Prescott makes this, there will be no room for error from Edmonds-Woodway moving forward. They would have to score on both of their shots, and GP would have to miss their final 2. And he puts it into the back of the net. Small dives the right direction. It looked as though Prescott just put it up high enough to where it was over Small's outstretched hand.
Small might have even got a touch on it, but I just don't think he had enough to keep it out.
So again, we are 2 rounds away from this ending, if we need both rounds for that matter. If Edmonds-Woodway misses this shot right now, Glacier Peak is your district champion. No pressure, right, for Ethan Hopkins, number 8, the junior forward. Son Norfisham could end this right here. And Hopkins keeps the team alive.
The weapon.
Spencer Pettit, the weapon, stepping up. He can now end it right here. If he puts this into the net.
It's like a PAT, Spencer. Don't kick it over.
It's on the same line, right? It's on the PAT line. He knows this line. If this ball ends up in the net, Glacier Peak is your 2015 district champion. And it does. Game over. The Glacier Peak Grizzlies are your 2015 district champions. And the celebration continues down on the field right now. We're going to get a player of the game here shortly, so we're going to have everybody stick around. Do not go too far. And again, congratulations to both of these teams for an excellent district run. Like you mentioned, Nathan, right before the penalty kick started, the nice thing about this is that win or lose, you still move on to state.
Right. Right, Edmonds-Woodway, it's tough to lose that game, but they're not done yet, and they're hopefully going to continue in state and win a couple games there, and same with Glacier Peak. And so they both played really hard. I mean, really, neither team lost this game 0-0 and all the way through to PKs, and then Glacier Peak came up on top.
And Angelo Camo just reminded me that the trophy ceremony is about to take place, so we'll certainly tape that, but we may not get a player of the game up here. We'll see what we can do, though. I didn't think about that as we've got Raven trying to get a player of the game for us. That may not happen right now. So we mentioned it again, and it's worth mentioning one more time. Edmonds-Woodway, a team that won 4 games last year. I think the year before they were 7-9. Haven't made state in 12 years. Second place finish in districts, and you're playing on Tuesday of next week. That's a nice year for them.
Yep. And their year's not over, and not too many people thought they'd make it here. I bet you not too many of them thought they'd make it here, and to get here is huge in itself. And hopefully they can keep going on.
And they come over to the track right now where they're celebrating with their fans for a few moments here.
This is awesome for the town of Snohomish. I mentioned earlier, Snohomish won the 4A, Glacier Peak won in the 3A.
Sound Live Sports Network production
They're
services
enjoying this
are
right now. They
provided
hold
by
that
the
trophy
Broadcast Field
very proudly.
Production Class,
Nice
a
gesture by
CTE
Spencer Pettit, too. He was the last
intra-district
player to get over to the
course.
track
If you are a
because he was,
student
in
the Edmonds
fact,
School District, you can be part of
out congratulating the Edmonds-Woodway players on a great season, and a great game for that matter. It's one of those where you hate to see one team lose, but as we said, neither team really losing for that matter is. Who knows? We could see these two maybe in a couple weeks in the state championship game, right? Wouldn't that be something? Like we talked to Maddie Schultz earlier. 2 of the teams that played in the District 1 playoffs for the girls ended up playing in the state championship game together. So Spencer Pettit now over shaking the referee's hands.
Class act, Spencer Pettit.
Yeah, a player we'll see on TV here for the next few years, only not wearing a soccer uniform. I think he's going to have a heck of a career as a kicker.
I grew up playing soccer with Spencer, so great kid. Always hard to accept, though, that he'd miss a lot of soccer for football, and I'd always wonder why. But now I know. I mean, when you're as good as he is, you do what you got to do.
Going to be a member of the Wolf Pack down in Reno, Nevada, playing for the University of Nevada. They've put out a few players in their time. Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
I know he's not very popular up in this neck of the woods, but not a bad quarterback. And so we know they've sent people to the pros. Who knows? Maybe we'll see Spencer kicking on Sundays someday.
I wouldn't doubt it. He's got the drive in his foot and in his mindset.
Got a lot of action going on in that field. I believe there's going to be a trophy ceremony here very shortly. Edmonds-Woodway players walking off the field. I should say across the field towards us right now, towards the locker rooms. And like I said, this stings right now, but I think when they have a chance to look at this later on, they're going to realize that, boy, this is just one step in the journey. The journey continues on Tuesday night, and they have to regroup. And who knows? Sometimes you use games like this as motivation, and they get you ready for the season.
Exactly. Yep.
Or for the postseason.
They got tonight. Tonight they can think about it. I mean, you can be sad for tonight, but take a shower, flush it away, and start thinking about moving on because they're not done yet.
We've got the public address announcer making some sort of an announcement right now, as I think we should have a trophy presentation here very shortly. Nobody leaving from either team yet.
Glacier Peak players are pouring a water bottle over their coach, Kyle Veach, there.
Kyle Veach, who I think was talking to, it looks like he might have been talking to a reporter of some sort.
I don't know if they may have already given the trophy to him because they did have a plaque that they were holding in their hands when they were celebrating over.
Angela Camo is telling us that the principal, Jim Dean, at Glacier Peak, has already given the trophy to his team, and they do have that in hand there. Well, they're holding it up in the air right now. We're still hoping to get a player of the game here shortly. We've dispatched Raven Blackburn to go down there and see if she can work her magic on getting somebody up here for us. Well, we're going to take a quick break here. We'll run a quick commercial or two, come right back, and hopefully we will have our player of the game and then sign you out. Once again, Glacier Peak, your 2015 district champions. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmonds School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds-Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Hey sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the West Coast Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches, so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official scores, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the West Coast Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and check out westcoathletics.com, the official website of the West Coast Conference.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmonds School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions.
And welcome back to Edmonds Stadium, where once again the Glacier Peak Grizzlies are the district champions. Sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Oh, it sounds amazing. It sounds really good.
Son Norpishon is joining us right now, and he is our Sound Live Sports Network Player of the Game, sponsored by Action Jackson. And more importantly, I know you like winning the Player of the Game award, but you like being a district champion, right?
Oh, both feel very good.
Talk to us a little bit about this game tonight. It looked as though Edmonds-Woodway was getting a little more aggressive in the second half. They had quite a few looks. You just kept coming up with big plays.
Yeah, I just had to stay confident. Like 90% of goalkeeping is just confidence, then 10% skill. You could be the best skill player, best skill goalkeeper, but if you have no confidence, you're not a good keeper.
Sure. Nathan, what did you think of his play tonight?
I thought you were awesome, Sam. I've gotten to watch you play for a while. He played for my dad. So I've seen Sam play a lot, and I thought just Sam, you came out and you judged balls well. And I got a question for you on that. The PK that they called back, what was going through your mind? Because once it comes to that, it's all mind games. You thought he was going that same way, obviously, didn't you?
Yeah, dude. Oh, that was so hard. I was like, he could just be going left, or he could be going right. So I just stopped, and I'm like, last second decision, thought with instincts, not with my head. And I went right, and I was very happy.
It was a huge save, yeah.
What is your mindset as far as getting into a situation where the game is going to be determined on penalty kicks? As a goalkeeper, do you enjoy this, or is it more stressful? I would think in a way, if you have a lot of confidence in yourself, you might want the game to come down to you, correct?
Ooh, okay.
Or maybe not.
So when it comes down to PKs, I would rather avoid it. Like the last couple games we've had, we've come back from down, tied up, and then went over overtime and tied. But I just looked confident. I mean, inside it was scary. Very scary. Very scary.
Now, also by winning this district championship, you've ensured yourself of a home game on Tuesday night. Better to play up north than to have to travel, right?
Oh, yeah. Our coach was talking about that. First seed was very important. When we went out in this game, we came out hard. Think about that.
Did playing this team earlier in the season, and by earlier in the season I mean 2 weeks ago, so it wasn't that long ago, did that help in knowing what their tendencies were and knowing some of the players and the personnel?
For me, not really, but for Kyle, our coach, he knew everything about him somehow. I didn't know how, and we got a group text telling us everything, and we just put that in our heads and didn't forget it.
Now, talked about knowing a team that you're playing. Now you're going to have the unknown. You're going to more than likely play a team you don't know who they are right now, and there's probably a very good chance you've never seen them before. As a player, is that kind of exciting to you, or would you rather know the opponent?
It's very exciting because I don't like knowing what I'm coming up against.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's just pretty exciting.
Is that how most players feel, Nathan? Are you the same way?
Everyone's different.
Sure.
No matter what, I mean, you just got to show up and play, right? It doesn't matter who you're going up. It doesn't matter if you know them. And as a goalkeeper, you just got to keep doing your thing. You keep playing like that, you guys are going to do just fine.
Well, you played 90 minutes tonight. You threw a shutout, and then, as if that wasn't enough, you made sure that those first two shots on goal there during the penalty kick session didn't go in either. And for that, you're our player of the game, so you get to keep the shirt. You get a trophy tonight for your team, and you get a shirt for you, and more importantly, you get to move on and play in the state tournament next week, Son.
Oh,
congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Our pleasure. So once again, we'll get one more picture here with you so we can put this on our website. Will Nathan get in here as well since he's part of the interview team? Oh, there we go. We've got Angelo Camone there. And once again, he is our Sound Live Sports Network Action Jackson Plumbing Player of the Game. And we are done. So, Son, we're going to let you get back and enjoy this one and celebrate. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you.
Best of luck to you guys next week.
Thank you.
All right, congratulations. We'll let you go. We'll take that off you there and let you get back to your teammates. So, Son Norfishon is our player of the game. He pitches a shutout. They win. Nathan, final thoughts as we wrap up. And what a game tonight.
Yeah, not as exciting as a game for the people that don't know a lot about soccer, 0-0 going all the way, but if you really watch the game, it was quite exciting. A lot of chances there, especially in the second half and in overtime. Two really good teams, really even teams. Coming into this game, I thought Glacier Peak had the upper hand, and I don't know if I can say the same thing about it now. It's a lot closer than I thought it was. 0-0. Two teams that now you're representing Wesco, so best of luck to you, and I want to see you guys win, and I'm rooting for both of them.
And Shorewood as well. They take that third spot for the district playoff, and all three of those teams are three of the final 16 remaining. They all advance to the state tournament, which starts on Tuesday night. We may or may not broadcast some of those games, so stick around. Oh, there we go. Glacier. Yeah, certainly our folks over at the STSPN, which is on the same website here, might hopefully be broadcasting those games on Tuesday night up in Glacier Peak. And we've got softball coming up this week. There's a couple baseball teams still in contention, and what a fun time to be an athlete or even a fan of these teams in the area or in the state for that matter, as all the state tournaments are kind of culminating here over the next 2 weeks, and some are playing, some are not. Two of the ones that are, though, the Edmonds-Woodway Warriors and the Glacier Peak Grizzly soccer teams, they both advance. So, Nathan, thank you again for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
for having me.
So we liked having an expert like Nathan Ani on to help a non-expert soccer guy like me, Steve Willits, and for Angelo Camo, for Evan Pardon, for Raven Blackburn, and also Maddie Schultz from Edmonds-Woodway for joining us quite a bit tonight. We appreciate all the help we can get, and we enjoyed bringing you the action here from Edmonds Stadium tonight. So once again, 0-0 game goes into penalty kicks, and the Glacier Peak Grizzlies come out on top. They are the 2015 district champions, and they head to the state tournament with a home game coming up. For everybody involved, thank you for watching tonight. You've been watching the Sound Live Sports Network. Have a good night.
Sound Live Sports Network production services are provided by the Broadcast Field Production Class, a CTE intra-district course. If you are a student in the Edmonds School District, you can be part of the exciting world of live sports production. Learn about broadcast announcing, broadcast engineering, and sports reporting while providing a valuable service to your community. Contact your school counselor today to find out more and sign up for Broadcast Field Productions.